For the first time in 9 years, the NBA Finals will be playing a Game 7 in the ultimate test of strength, willpower, and mental fortitude. It all comes down to one game in the 2025 NBA season. These are the games with little margin for error and everything on the line. The Oklahoma City Thunder have been waiting for their first title since 1979 when they were the Seattle SuperSonics. The Indiana Pacers have not won a championship at any level since they won their third title in 4 years during their ABA years in 1973. This has been a back and forth series all throughout, with each team exchanging blow for blow time and time again. How we got here: Game 1, Tyrese Haliburton, with his fourth game-winning basket, one of 6 Pacers to post double figures, 111-110 to win. Game 2, the Thunder respond for a complete two-way effort on the way to a 123-107 victory. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 72 points in the first 2 games of a finals debut, set an NBA record. Game 3, the Pacers outscored the Thunder 32-18 in the fourth quarter, on the way to a 116-107 win. Haliburton finished with 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 11 assists. Benedict Mathurin added 27 points off the bench on 9-12 shooting. Game 4, the Thunder answered 111-104. SGA shot 15 of his 35 points. He scored 15 of his 35 points in the final 4:38 play. And Benedict Mathurin committed 2 away from the play fouls on inbound attempts and missed 3 of 4 free throws in the sequence. Game 5, Jalen Williams put up 40 points. SGA added 31 points and 10 assists with 2 steals and 4 blocks and a 120-109 victory. In Game 6, the Pacers ran the Thunder out of their building with a 108-91 win, with Obi Toppin and TJ McConnell combining for 32 points off the bench. That's what led us to this point, and why both teams are playing for a title tonight here on a Sunday night at Oklahoma City. Hello everyone, I am Alec Nava, and welcome to Paycom Center. Admittedly, this is going to be my final broadcast before I go on my hiatus. And with the Thunder, they have experienced several near misses at a title. An NBA Finals trip in 2012 and Conference Finals appearances in 2014 and 2016. They have the 7 most wins in NBA history this season, 68. If they win it all, they'd be the 5th best team in terms of wins in league history to win a title. Then, and only then, SGA will put himself in rare company by winning a championship, the regular season scoring title, and the regular season MVP, something only Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did. This is a moment the Thunder expected to be in all season. The same cannot be said for the Pacers. A win for them will cap off one of the most unexpected runs for a championship in the NBA. They completed one historic comeback in each of the 4 rounds of the playoffs. Haliburton completing a historic run of clutch shot making to go along with it. Rick Carlisle coached a similarly constructed Mavericks team to a title against the heavy favorite in the Miami Heat in 2011. One more win, and they'll win their first title after making finals with Reggie Miller leading them 25 years ago against the LA Laker machine led by Shaq and Kobe. The big keys for the Pacers are to limit turnovers and control the pace. Easier said than done against the defense that's swarming against the Thunders, but the Pacers are at their best when they won the turnover battle and stopped the Thunder from getting out in transition. Their results are twofold. Not turning the ball over allows them to attempt more shots instead of coming away empty, and it stops the Thunder from getting easy transition baskets, where they thrive offensively. Their depth has been the biggest strength throughout this playoff run, and McConnell's been fantastic throughout this series. His high-energy style for 90 minutes per game has provided spark in each game he checks in, averaging 11.3 points and 4.5 assists on 54% shooting. Haliburton played for a strained calf and was effective. Not as mobile, but the Pacers would need a variety of ball handlers to keep their pace and run the offense. The way McConnell and the bench have energized the team and outplayed their counterparts from OKC is a major reason why they can win. And if they do, it could be argued as one of the biggest upsets in NBA history. They entered the playoffs as the 4th seed in the East. Their run was filled with buzzer beaters and thrilling comebacks as they defied the odds and began the finals with the longest odds of a team in 20 years. They're not the favorites in any of the 7 games of the series, and they don't profile like a usual championship contender, but they spent the playoffs proving everyone wrong. For the Thunder, to win the finals, they have to give a reason for their home crowd to be loud. They rolled to 68 wins and the best record in the league. The Paycom Center has been a very tough place for opponents to play. They're 10-2 at home with 9 double-digit wins, including wins by 30 and 32 in elimination games in the last 2 rounds. Their fans provide a true home court advantage that Jalen Williams compared to a high school football powerhouse. They are going to be loud tonight. Alex Caruso is the only NBA champion on the Thunder's roster. The veteran leader of the team, and a player who was a dominant force in Game 7 against the Denver Nuggets. He disrupted the flow of Denver's attack against Nikola Jokic, and a major factor 23 turnovers that the Thunder converted into 37 points, with a plus 40 in 26 minutes. He's one of the toughest competitors in the league, and someone who lives for the highest of stakes. He has all the fingerprints through OKC's run so far. If they do win it all, it's the finish line for what has been a historic season. They profile statistically as one of the most dominant teams of all time with the best regular season point differential ever. The only champion to finish the season with more total wins than the Thunder's 84, if OKC finishes the job, was the 1996 Chicago Bulls. They're in position with almost their entire core consisting of rising talent. SGA is just entering its prime. J-Dub is an All-NBA sidekick in the early years of his development. Chet Holmgren is All-NBA and DPOY potential. That's how scary they are for potential dynasty. What we take away from this series, home court advantage is paramount. In 12 playoff games at Paycom Center, the Thunder have plus 20.6 point differential, the second largest margin of victory in home court playoff history, behind the 1996 Utah Jazz's plus 20.7. Their only losses at home were in Game 1 against the Pacers and Game 1 against the Nuggets, and they led in both games until the final seconds. The occasional shooting woes that plagued them in the playoffs haven't been an issue at home, as they made just 29.9% of the threes on the road, which is well below their season-long average of 36.3%. In comparison, that they have a 37.5% mark at home from deep, which is a perfect match for the 37.5% expected three-point mark. Other than Jalen Williams, every member of the Thunder's rotation has shot better from distance at home. An unfamiliar low-scoring game could be on the horizon. Don't expect a lot of points because historically, Game 7s and the finals have been low-scoring affairs. The last 5 ended 93-89, 95-88, 83-79, 81-74, and 90-84, respectively, between 2016, 2013, 2010, 2005, and 1994. The last time a Game 7 saw a team reach triple digits was in 1988, when the Lakers beat the Detroit Pistons. It's unclear which team had sort of game of favor, because neither team played like it at all postseason. The Pacers haven't won a playoff game with less than 1 or 8 points, but they turned in their best defensive effort at the playoffs in Game 6, allowing 91 points. The Thunder, meanwhile, are just 1-6 in the playoffs when scoring 110 points or fewer, but they do have a low-scoring win, 92-87 in Game 4 against the Nuggets, and they should be more accustomed to grind out games. They've held their opponents below 100.6 times in the playoffs, 5 of them at home, but that's not been the case against the Pacers in the finals. In the last part is the turnover battle. The 2025 playoffs have been defined by turnovers. Overall, the teams that commit fewer turnovers than their opponents have a 58-21 record. Given how the Thunder led the league in avoiding turnovers and forced the second most on a per-possession basis, they both drove and benefited from it. Against Western Conference opponents, they won the turnover battle in 14 of 16 games. But the Pacers flipped the script as, after stealing Game 1 despite 25 turnovers, they have had the turnover edge in their wins in Games 3 and 6, and played the Thunder to a draw in Game 4. Thursday was the biggest outlier. OKC's 10 turnover deficit was twice as big as in any other playoff game. TJ McConnell's ability to turn routine efforts to bring up the ball into costly steals has been a factor in the Pacers doing to the Thunder what OKC did to teams all season long. The Thunder have committed 10 turnovers in this series before getting the ball past the three-point line, as compared to just 1 for the Pacers. For the importance of home court for Game 7, however, Indiana averaged 21 turnovers in 3 games at Paycom Center, as compared to 13.7 in 3 home games. If this split continues, the Pacers are going to face an uphill battle. So MVP contenders. Lastly, and most importantly, not least, if the Thunder manage to win Game 7 to win the championship, the only realistic option the Thunder have is an obvious one for Finals MVP. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, seeking to be just the 4th player in NBA history to win the regular season scoring title, regular season MVP, and Finals MVP all in the same season, joining Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Jalen Williams has had some great moments in this series. His 40-point explosion in Game 5 consistent, but it's not close enough to seriously tip the scales away from SGA. His iconic sequence in Game 4, where he scored 15 points in the final 4:38, along with all-round stats, have had the overall impact that tipped the scales in favor of the Thunder, leading to his argument being stronger. But the Pacers were to win, however. The race is wide open, and it's going to come down to how Game 7 itself plays out, and who has the biggest impact. The most likely scenario is that it will, like in the Eastern Conference Final, come down to a choice between the two stars, Tyrese Haliburton and Pascal Siakam. Haliburton has played for a calf strain, but he has led the team in assists at the game winner in Game 1, and a stellar performance in Game 3. Siakam, on the other hand, is leading the Pacers in points and rebounds, while averaging 4 assists and over a steal and a block. The one wildcard selection is TJ McConnell, who has had a fabulous series, but so likely he's going to win, given that Siakam and or Haliburton are all but assured a big game Indy wins. And McConnell's made just as big of an impact throughout this series as the leader of the second unit of the Pacers. It is the 20th Game 7 in the NBA Finals in league history, but the 9th one since the NBA-ABA merger, which was 1976. Home teams are 15-4 in Game 7 of Finals, 6-2 since the NBA-ABA merger. But the last time a Game 7 was played in the Finals, the road team won, when the Cleveland Cavaliers completed the first and to this day only 3-1 series comeback in Finals history. We go to our starting fives to begin with the Indiana Pacers. It all comes down to this for Tyrese Haliburton, Andrew Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith, Pascal Siakam, and Miles Turner. Off the bench are TJ McConnell, Ben Shepherd, Benedict Mathurin, Obi Toppin, and Tony Bradley. For the Thunder, on their starting five, it all comes down to this for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Lucius Dort, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and Isaiah Hartenstein. Off the bench, Cason Wallace, Alex Caruso, Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, and Kenrich Williams. You have all the stats here. The Pacers have 10 wins as an underdog this postseason. A Game 7 win would mark the 11th, which would be the most by any team in a single postseason in the last 35 years. Indiana has a points per game differential is 10.6 lower than the Thunder, which would be the largest upset in terms of points per game differential in NBA Finals and league history. And they have won 18 fewer games than the Thunder in the regular season. And if they win it all, it will be the largest upset in terms of regular season wins in the NBA Finals in league history. Since seeding began in 1984, there is only one team seeded 4th or lower that won an NBA title. The 1995 Houston Rockets, who swept the Orlando Magic as the 6th seed in the Western Conference that year. The average margin of victory in Game 7 of the NBA Finals is 6.9 points, which is the smallest margin among all Finals games. Each of the last 8 Game 7s have been decided by single digits. 15 of 19 Game 7s in the NBA Finals have been decided by single digits overall. This crowd is loud, and the all-royal blue uniforms, or shirts rather, all across this OKC crowd. Our referees tonight are James Capers, Josh Tiven, and Sean Wright. So for those who are wondering where Scott Foster is at, he is not selected as part of this officiating crew or as the alternate referee as part of this crew. Miles Turner is the longest tenured Pacers player. He's in his 10th season with the team. Is this the day that he finally breaks through? He's seen through the Paul George era, the Oladipo and Sabonis era, and now he's part of the Haliburton and Siakam era. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the NBA League MVP this season, trying to cap off what has been a near-perfect season for the Oklahoma City Thunder. 68 wins. They all need one more. They're all locked in for the task at hand. Thunder fans on their feet here. This is Game 7 and the finale of the 2025 NBA season. And what has been an exciting season, regular season, and postseason. This postseason has given us thriller after thriller after thriller. Will this match give us one last taste of exciting action before we go to a long summer? And one last game to settle the highest stakes for who will take the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Miles Turner and Chet Holmgren line up at half court to settle the jump ball from Josh Tiven. And it's won by the Pacers. Welcome to summer basketball. On the left wing, it is Siakam. Andrew Nembhard will look Turner trying to set the screen. He does. Over to Nembhard. The early mid-range shot. He got it. Number 2 gets the early 2 for the first shot of tonight. The Pacers on the board first. Dort will go back. Pacers fighting for their 11th underdog victory of this postseason. They have not been favored throughout this postseason as Aaron Nesmith gets a block on Williams. Up the far side, Haliburton and Nembhard. The sauce, the cross, kicked out right corner. Turner fakes. He'll throw it away left wing where Haliburton fouled on the reach-in. I believe that is Luguentz Dort. We'll have that go against him, and yes, it will be Dort. Already the Pacers on the right places at the right times. Andrew Nembhard with the early mid-range shot, of course. Nembhard going left wing side, the free from Turner. Too far. Grabbed by Chet Holmgren on the rebound. Up the far side, Dort, Hartenstein, Shai. SGA moves around the wheel. Shai will pump up onto the paint. Steps back and fires, got it. He knocked down his first shot. The Pacers trying to counter here at Oklahoma City. Game 7-0 tied up at 2. On the left wing, Nembhard finds a wide open Siakam. He's got it. Pascal Siakam, who's been on a tear throughout this finals, gets the Heat going. And while we speak of Miami, of course the Florida Panthers Stanley Cup parade was today. While the Heat missed out on Kevin Durant, we'll talk more on that later. On the left side, SGA. He'll move up and back out. Shai forced onto the left hash. No room to shoot. He's going to have to restart. Shai is going to have to backpedal and get this off. This rolls around. Picked up by Siakam. Whistle. Loose ball foul against Chet. 1:45 gone here in this first quarter. SGA trying to get some plays going. But Indiana with lockdown defense all throughout. Excellent job as Shai tried to bait Nembhard into a foul. Nembhard will look back to Turner. Can't shoot the free. Haliburton going to Nembhard. Chet on the switch. Nesmith got bumped up front on the paint. Nembhard moving up on Chet, who blocks him. He tried to put up a contested shot. It backfires. Siakam, this one, too far. Airmailed, and SGA will go back the other way. For the near side. He'll shake it big, Hartenstein say the screen. Shai gets inside, gets a hand on his face. And Nesmith tried to argue with Sean Wright. Going one-on-one down the paint. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, so good at drawing contact. Nesmith picks up the foul. And Shai's going to inbound the ball from the near side. Over to J-Dub, who had a 40-point explosion in Game 5. Does he have another sense of magic in him? Shai, he'll look. Puts on a move on the left side. A mid-range shot. That is artistry. The art of the mid-range. Something that Shai wants to recreate. And he did so there early in Game 7. Haliburton. Hartenstein's on and gets by him. Blocked away. Picked up by Chet on the rebound. Already the Thunder showing their defensive prowess as consecutive blocks and consecutive defensive possessions. Shai backs out of it. Finds Hartenstein as he was falling behind. Hartenstein moves up. And kicks it out towards the left corner for J-Dub. Williams looks right on Nesmith. Trying to find someone. He does. That's Chet Holmgren. Trying to spin around. Turnaround shot. It's inside. Quickly the Pacers counter up the left wing. Thunder take their first lead of Game 7. Haliburton with Dort trying to blitz the screen. Siakam still on him. On the right corner. Turner with Holmgren on him. Siakam swings into an open Hallie. Dort staying on him. Right corner's Turner. Can't shoot the free as he is closed out by Chet. Hartenstein blitzing onwards. Siakam. Haliburton left wide open. Left wing side. Got it. Tyrese Haliburton with a penchant for the free-point shooting. What groin injury. He looks fine. Williams to Chet. He'll take it back over to J-Dub. Williams over to Holmgren as he moves up. Gets boxed out. Williams. Ian Genge play a game of catch. It is Williams down through the paint. Trying to lay it. It missed. Bounced off the rim. Nembhard takes it up the other way. Haliburton will try this one again. And it's got it again. Tyrese Haliburton early here with consecutive three-pointers. Testing Steph Curry rage. He has 6 points already. On the left side, Williams. Hartenstein. After some open space, Gets it over to Dort. Who lays this in? Back and forth we go here in the first half of the first quarter. Who's going to stand here for the last stop? Back and forth we go. Could this be triple digits here in Game 7? Nobody knows. Siakam settles for the mid-range jumper. Too far. Good defense by Hartenstein. The physicality. Chet's at the rebound on for Shai. 4-7 are the Thunder. 4-9 are the Pacers. Shai takes it inside. Can't finish it, but a foul. Rick Carlisle is not happy. Neesmith's getting his second against him. Lou Dort moving inside as he adjusts on the layup, getting Nembhard to fake it out. Rouse this one inside off the backboard. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, meanwhile, splayed right by Miles Turner. And through the attempted block from Neesmith, who doesn't like that, he believes that this was not a foul. Shai's first shot is good. We're nearly 5 minutes into this first quarter. Past the 4.5 mark as Shai sets the body of contact right on Neesmith. Alex Caruso check in as the first substitution for the Thunder here. In wins, Shai's averaging 31.9 points per game. In losses, 25.7 points per game. He makes both. Early here in Game 7. Still a lot to go. Neesmith subbing out as Mavericks checks in. He's had an electric Game 3, trying to recapture some of that electricity that he brought in that Game 3. Haliburton, he'll try another free. That's short. And it's tipped up by Williams, saved by Mavericks. He'll try again. And he knocks it down again. 3 3-pointers already for Howley. He's 3 of 4 this early on here in Game 7, and he's fired up along with the rest of the Pacers. Timeout Thunder, with the Pacers leading 14-10 in Game 7. Haliburton, the first shot didn't go. Williams can't secure the rebound. Mavericks saves it, and Howley from the edge of the logo gets Indy up by 4. We will return. Pacer fans are packed at Gainbridge Fieldhouse and are allowed early, with Tyrese Haliburton making free of his first 4 3-point shots. That's the second most in the first quarter of this playoffs, with 9 points for him. Bouncing back from that 4-point bomb in which he was hurt in Game 5. Caruso to Hartenstein. J-Dub trying to shake this up. Hartenstein over to Shai. Shai gets it over to an open Caruso. Left wing 3 on the way. Knocked it down. Alex Caruso already making his statement. Trying to win his second ring of his career. That's the first three-pointer for the Thunder. They missed a ton of those in Game 6. All the way back is Haliburton. He's blitzed on the right side. Dort catching up to him. On the left side, Nembhard. Caught up to. Turner can't shoot the free. It is Nembhard. Extra pass left corner. Mathurin. Caruso swarming all over the place. Mathurin lets this one go. And it's airballed. Grabbed by Hartenstein. What a defensive sequence for OKC. The energy they provided there. On matches, Williams slipped. Nembhard tried to fight for the ball. Williams hanging on to it. And they call a jump ball. Halfway through the first quarter. And what a defensive sequence all around as OKC gets the opening. Caruso immediately triggering the free on the left wing. As Obi Toppin was caught flat-footed. Nobody was within range for the Pacers. They were all focused on the inside. That left a mismatch over the outside of Caruso. Settling this down. The officials are going to check on the scorer's table to reset the shot clock. The shot clock says 24. 12 seconds on the shot clock. It'll be Hartenstein and Nembhard to settle the jump ball. 6:01 to go here in the first quarter. Pacers lead 14-13. It's up and grabbed by Hartenstein. There's a whistle immediately. We'll have to do it again because there was a violation. Jalen Williams and Andrew Nembhard. Officials are reconvening together. I believe Nembhard may have grabbed the wrist of Williams. They'll do it again here. They sell another jump ball. So, jump ball number 3. This time it's won by Williams. They'll have to move up with pace. 9 seconds on the shot clock as SGA is settling this one slowly. They shake and bake around Nembhard. He'll settle this one for Caruso. He'll try again from deep. He's got another. Alex Caruso is fired from deep on both wings and sunk both. Will he do another defensive shutdown sequence here? Haliburton to Turner, who fakes. Williams catching up with Nembhard. Nembhard's fouled on the entry inside by Williams, who tried to block it. 5:36. The Pacers trying to up the tenacity with their up-tempo pace. Same case with SGA fighting the open Caruso on the right wing. And once again, the primary defender was Obi Toppin. And Caruso, perfect on both threes. Nembhard will shoot 2. The first shot is good. 5:36 to go here in the first quarter. The NBA draft is on Wednesday. The NHL draft is on Friday. And the second rounds are on Thursday and Saturday, NBA and NHL respectively. Nembhard's 2 for 2. And we're tied at 16. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander sets up at the near side. 4 points for Nembhard, 2 rebounds and 2 assists. We have someone calling next year on the Pacers. Cason Wallace is on the court for the Thunder. SGA's blitzed. He'll swing it to Caruso. Caruso down the lane. The layup. Gonna go. And the Pacers move back the other side. Haliburton. 1-on-1 with SGA. Haliburton will survey. Wallace setting up on Nembhard. Haliburton trying to drive. Can't do so. Nembhard's all the way back in the logo. Nembhard on Wallace. He'll kick it out left corner. Toppin can't shoot the free. Haliburton. He slips. And Caruso. 2-on-1. SGA with Williams. He fights Williams. And Haliburton is in discomfort. He isn't paid here. Remember, we talked about the right groin that he suffered previously. That has been a talking point through the later stages of this finals. Remember, he did not look like himself in Game 5, where he had just 4 points and all the points came on free throws. He slipped up, and I have to feel sick for this young man. because this is a crushing blow. All the Pacers surround him so as to pray for the best, and that's nothing serious. We're going to step away. We look back at Tyrese Haliburton's insanely clutch moments. He had a game winner in every round of the playoffs. Though he played through the pain with a sprained groin, or the risk was that further injury is going to be caused, some already speculating that it's a torn Achilles. And he's down on the ground, lying in pain. Pacers fans were huddling, surrounding him, comforting their leader. Now he's out. What a crushing blow. TJ McConnell and Ben Shepherd on the court here. The hope is that they step up in his absence. 18-16, the Thunder lead here. McConnell setting up Mathurin. Benedict Mathurin going back for McConnell, who's been excellent in games 5 and 6. McConnell, he's surrounded. He got it off. Never reached the rim. Shot clock violation. The Thunder swarmed him. Yeah, and he is limping. And he is limping on the way to the locker room. On one leg, his father in disbelief. He is done for tonight. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, kicking out left corner. Caruso to free. No. Rebounded by Mathurin. The Pacers will go back here. With the set with Mathurin setting up. The Pacers bench having to step up. Mathurin surrounded by three Pacers. Siakam can't loft it up. Siakam blitzing down the lane. Lays it up and finishes. Plus the foul. They're going to need a more aggressive hit flow here. But do remember, Siakam is an NBA champion previously. They want to isolate him so as to get the advantage here down the lane. Caruso's going to be tougher. And he plays the game down the middle. He is so versatile as the winger. And he is the primary point of attack. 19.8 points per game in this finals. 46% shooting and 8.3 rebounds per game. The Cameroonian. Mathurin, Toppin, McConnell, and Shepard on the court with him. Fans getting loud here in the hopes that he misses. He does! Spoken into existence, and as this rebound's free, it'll be picked up by the Thunder. On the right wing, it'll be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 1-on-1 with McConnell. Stifling him. SGA puts it up. Airballed and grabbed by Siakam. Mathurin comes back here. Down the middle, he steps out of it. Kenrich Williams on the court. Chet Holmgren on Mathurin. Staying with him. Mathurin gets the edge. No go. Caruso scoops it up and goes to SGA. Williams back for Shai. He and Chet on the court at the same time. Kicked out Caruso on the wing again. Can't deliver again. Chet the rebound. Bounce it to Kenrich. Shai. He'll look at the right side. Wallace to Caruso and then back to Wallace. SGA 1-on-1 Shepard. Takes it down the lane. Steps back and fades. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Smooth with it from the free throw line on a step back. Tajan McConnell moves it back over to Obi Toppin. Toppin hooks one up. Can't get it, and Chet gets in front of Mathurin. Shai. He'll move it up across the half-court line. Setting up 1-on-1 with McConnell. SGA backs out of it. Now stepping in front. McConnell puts him on a silver platter. Chet fakes the free. He'll step up. Hooking one and delivers. Chet. Bringing a freeze not only from Toronto but from Minnesota. OKC is 9-16 shooting tonight. How will the Pacers answer here? Shepard. He'll step up. McConnell. Blitz by Wallace. Over to Siakam. Siakam settles for a deep mid-range jumper. Got it. Pass goes Siakam. A high arching shot over Chet. It's a 2-point game here. Thunder lead 22-20. 7 points already for Siakam. On the left, Caruso. Alex Caruso look back for Holmgren. And then SGA. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Now doubled up. Single coverage on it. Benedict Mathurin. Williams trying to set the screen. SGA sells this one through. Shaking and baking. He'll put one up. Tightly contested. Nothing doing. It'll be McConnell going back. Ben Shepard. Open. Over to McConnell. McConnell looks the opposite side for Toppin. The swing back for McConnell. Wallace trying to blitz the screen. McConnell. Still holding onto the ball. He lets it over it. Intercepted by Caruso. He read the passing lane on Ben Shepard and got it back for the Thunder. SGA. Already the third turnover for the Pacers. That's that one forced by Caruso. Shai gets one to Kenrich. At the logo, SGA. To Kenrich Williams. Down the right hash. He's going to look. Now back over to Wallace. Kason Wallace has to get it off in a hurry. Double pump. Now puts one up. Too far. It'll be grabbed by McConnell. It'll be OKC's first turnover. The Pacers already in the bonus. Already the size advantage of Chet Holmgren on Pascal Siakam. That didn't matter that time around when Siakam hit the shot over Chet. But nonetheless, it is a 2-point game. How much will Siakam play? And how much of a factor will the rest of the Pacers be? That includes McConnell. Indiana has 6 timeouts with them. OKC as well. Up the near side, McConnell. He's going to look. Indiana's at Haliburton. High arching shot. Bounced up and out. And it'll be grabbed by J-Dub as he's back on the court. Kason Wallace moving down the pace. Gets it over to Williams. J.O. Williams to Kenrich Williams. A free on the way. No. And it'll be rolled out of bounds. Where the Pacers move it up from left to right with 56.8 to go. Still, it's early in this game 7. But anything can happen. The Pacers catching up with the Thunder. Despite not having Tyrese Haliburton for the remainder of this game. Who's going to take the last shot if it ever comes down to a single-digit scenario? Everyone's on their feet here. The Thunder fans standing up here for the entire game. McConnell to Mathurin, who drives. Trying to lay it up. Can't do it. Gets his own rebound back. This time he finishes. Banks this one home, and we're tied at 22. Aaron Wiggins on the court for the first time. 30. Wiggins will look over to J-Dub. Williams with Shepard on him. Williams carries this one down. Lays it in. Shot clock turned off. Thunder lead 24-22. The Pacers have the last shot unless they take it with just enough time for the Thunder to get one right before the buzzer. McConnell is backed up by Casey Wallace all the way to half court. McConnell trying to break free. Pull on a straight jacket. Wallace gets it free. The Thunder have it. Chet Holmgren trying to carry it on. It's just a charge. 1.3 to go. TJ McConnell trying to draw the charge. They have decided that it is a foul against the Pacers, and Chet will go to the line. And Chet did go around McConnell. A smart play says to not run right into the charge that was set by McConnell. Chet's first shot is rimmed out. 1.3 to go here. That's enough time for the Pacers. That's enough time for the Pacers to get a last shot. And what in the world? Okay, I thought that we're seeing a development as Casey Wallace checks in. 1.3 seconds left here in this first quarter. 24-22 as Tony Bradley comes on the court. And the second shot is good. The Pacers have to get this one off in a hurry with 1.3 seconds left. To who they inbound to? Deep inbound pass is caught by Siakam. He puts one up at the buzzer. Just hit the rim. And that ends the first quarter. 25-22 is our scoreline. And the Pacers, if they're going to be without Tyrese Haliburton for the rest of this game, and they have to put all their souls onto this one. He wants to have everyone, the Cole Connor McDavid, to dig the in. We'll be right back for the second quarter in just a moment. I am Alec Nava. Stay tuned. Haliburton had 9 points, but he left the game at 4:55 left in the first quarter. Pacers are within 3 points. Alley-oop to Hartenstein, missed! He missed a dunk on the alley-oop. That's not something we see. It's McConnell who set up Mathurin for the free to tie. Got it! On the response, Benedict Mathurin says, "You can't miss this." Over to Jalen Williams as he enters back. Hartenstein will swing to Caruso. Alex Caruso back to Hartenstein. Trying to lay this one up. He is fouled by Bradley. Hartenstein gets helped up by Case and Wallace. The Thunder, they're in a tight battle with the Pacers. And Pascal Siakam wanted to tell everyone to lock in the midst of Tyrese Haliburton getting down with an injury. He told his players, "You're still in this. It's Hartenstein. Rim down the first free throw." Siakam told his guys, "You're still in this game, and as there's still a lot of game left here to be played." They're extra motivated to take this game on the road. Second shot, missed both. Bradley the rebound. He'll get it to an open Mathurin, and now McConnell. TJ McConnell will look towards the left. Faking it free, trying to get to Mathurin. Benedict Mathurin to TJ McConnell. Caruso's on him, number 9 on number 9. Siakam is watched by Wallace. Siakam swings right, then moves around, lost the ball, but he is fouled. That was not during the shot. They're going to call this under active shooting. Case and Wallace will nonetheless pick up his first foul. But Siakam, they're going to say he was in the act of shooting. He's got something here. And Siakam, he tried to draw this one. He does. When he got a hand reaching onto him. The first shot, good. He's extra reliable. And now that Haliburton's gone, he's now the primary option on the court. And the Thunder have to focus on shutting him down throughout this game now that he is the primary option. He previously was comfortable playing as the primary option in Toronto after his Kawhi Leonard left. Second shot is short and grabbed by Hartenstein up for Caruso. Alex Caruso will look on the left wing. Caruso still looking. Wallace can't get open. Hartenstein can. It's dropped back for Williams. Several step backs for J-Dub. Bradley guarding him. Williams. Short. Rebounds tipped by Wiggins. Back for Caruso. He's going to look. Alex Caruso once again serving over Hartenstein. Wide open Caruso! Miscommunication by the Pacer defense. And the Thunder exploit it. On the left wing it is Siakam. The hook on the pass to Mathurin is closed up by Wallace. Now back for Bradley. Fouled on the hook shot by J-Dub, who picks up his second. Team basketball all around us. Isaiah Hartenstein. Caruso splits by through Bradley and Shepard. Right through small gap. An area which they can't see to force that miscommunication. Bradley shooting 2. Replace Thomas Bryant on the second unit. The first shot, he sunk it. We're tied at 27. A minute 39 into the second quarter. He's in his 7th year in the league. The former Utah Jazz player, coming from the University of North Carolina. A deep exhale. His ability to come up big in the second unit. He makes both. He did so there. Good, solid two-way presence on the second unit. On the way back, Caruso. He'll fight Hartenstein. They've connected on several dimes here. In this first half, it's Wiggins. Lob to Hartenstein. He's fouled by McConnell from behind. And filled out for McConnell. One can argue that it was a necessary foul to make, as Hartenstein was about to shoot it up. They're going to call it a shooting foul. They want to call it a shooting foul as this was an alley-oop from Wiggins on the attempt to Hartenstein. Tried to reverse jam this one inside. They're not going to call it a shooting foul. And McConnell, this was a necessary foul for him. Wiggins. Hartenstein keeps it alive. Caruso the wing shot. Airballed. And it's stolen by Williams. It'll stay with the Pacers because it is a loose ball foul. We're a minute 58 into the second quarter. And already the Thunder committing fouls here all around. The ball was out of bounds. It's actually going to stay with the Thunder because the foul was against the Pacers. Bradley already with 2 fouls this early into the game. Fans chanting OKC here. Mavericks on the court. As this is J-Dub. Oh, look to Hartenstein. Hartenstein makes them pay. Foul this, he says. Up the far side, McConnell to Siakam. Siakam's going to look Caruso on him. Caruso switches on to Mathurin as he is being blitzed. Benedict Mathurin trying to look for the mismatch. Siakam around J-Dub. Ben Shepherd poked away by Caruso. Alex Caruso will look on the wing back towards the right wing. Williams. Wallace. 6 turnover force, and now the second turnover against the Thunder as the Pacers said, give me that. Tajan McConnell looking around Aaron Wiggins. Wallace slips. McConnell spinning around as Shepherd, he'll look up for Siakam. Bobbled it for a moment as Wallace was on his face. Siakam on the right hash. He's going to look and step back and fire it. Bounced up and out. Hartenstein to rebound. Caruso leads back the other way near side. Shepherd's on him, up for J-Dub. Williams trying to find a lane around Bradley. Williams splits the gap, hooks one up. He is fouled. And if you're the Pacers, you may be thinking about getting Tony Bradley subbed out because he's already committed 3 fouls against. This is not what they want to do. And already, you may be thinking about putting Miles Turner back in the game. And the pain that Tyrese Haliburton is feeling. Talked to us a lot about his groin injury that he's feeling. Some are speculating it is an Achilles. Already helped up by his teammates as J-Dub is waiting for his turn. You've already seen 3-star players go down with torn Achilles. First shot, short. The 2 before Haliburton were Damian Lillard and Jason Tatum. Oh my goodness, it's unbelievable. And Haliburton officially will not return to the game with that torn Achilles. Nembhard checks back in as the point guard of this game. There was some soreness and some pain while he was playing through it, as Williams sunk the second one. Toppin's back in. He gets some substitutions back for the Thunder too. Nembhard activating up the pace on the right wing. It's the second straight postseason in which the Pacers will finish without Haliburton as they finished last year's postseason in the Eastern Conference Finals without him during their 4-game sweep that they fell to the Boston Celtics, the eventual NBA champions of the time. Nembhard moves it up for Turner, who puts one up, bounced up, and Nembhard finding Turner. The whistle blows with 1.6 on the clock. Turner will shoot twice. Already it's been a back and forth affair here. In Game 7 of the NBA Finals, a mismatch 1-on-1 as Nembhard, quicker and speedier, up around the bigger and more physical Jalen Williams. Miles Turner will shoot 2. The first one, short. On the free throws. Already the bench players over at the far side. On the right side, they're applauding. Turner 11.3 points per game throughout this NBA Finals. Siakam on the bench with Nembhard on the court. Second shot, bounced in. Shepherd, Toppin, Nesmith, Turner, and Nembhard. That's the 5 on the court for the Pacers. SGA 1-5 for the Thunder. As he's back out there with Wiggins, J-Dub, Shai's tripped. Nembhard gets his first against him. More free throws coming because of that trip. He was going back the other way. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he spins around. That was a hook right on the arm. He did not let him go. And of course, that is a clear injury risk when hooking a player. The risk of separating his shoulder. The first shot is good. 31-29. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander toughing it out. It's special to watch him play all around. The mid-range jump shot being a lost art. He's one of those trying to revive here. And the physical exhaustion can be a lot. Shai makes both. OKC leading 32-29 here. And oh my goodness, a steal by Wallace. He gives TJ McConnell a taste of his own medicine on the right wing. It'll be a step back from Jalen Williams as they're all surveying. Back is SGA for free. Bounced out. Naismith the rebound through the far side as the Pacers will activate up. Down the left wing. The Thunder 2 of 8 from deep. The Pacers 5 of 9. Lombard will look. Turner the screen. The switch from J-Dub. On the left wing, another free. Bounced up and out. Turner trying to get the offensive rebound. He does. Naismith, another try. Bank shot. We're tied at 32. Back and forth we go. And once again, it's been an all-familiar refrain. The Pacers 6-11 from deep. Shai tried to split the gap. Kicked out for Dort. Wide open free. Left wing side. Bounced up. And a tip. Knocked away. Toppin. Stolen by Wallace. Brought back over to Williams. SGA will look. Caruso is both of OKC's frees here. Another mid-range is Shai. He's got it. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's got 12 points already in Game 7. Timeout Indiana with 7:14 to go in the second quarter. The art of the mid-range shot. A lost star in the NBA in the three-point revolution, but learn this again. We'll be right back in a moment. The 2024 Canadian national team included Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luguentz Dort, and Andrew Nembhard during that year's Olympics. The Pacers 6 of 11 from 3, the Thunder 2 of 9. Paid points are 16-6 Thunder here. Rick Carlisle used his second timeout for the Pacers trying to win the NBA Finals in one of the biggest upsets in NBA history. Turner gets it open, Maffrin, who blitzes right by. Can't lay this one up. Over and back it goes with SGA. Cason Wallace posts up for free. Yes, sir! Cason Wallace hitting just the third three-pointer of the game for the Thunder. It's just the point where they heat it up. Nembhard will look. Gets by Caruso. Turner's open. Trying to swing this open to Nesmith. Nesmith, Wallace stay with him. Caruso trying to blitz the screen for Nembhard. Andrew Nembhard. Switch on Chet Holmgren. Gets it to Turner. Turner inside. He's fouled. 6:25 to go here in the second quarter. He is trying to reach up. Nembhard, the dish. Right to the open Turner. Size advantage is what matters. Cason Wallace being that open. If Aaron Nesmith getting lost here, doesn't know where to go to Caruso or Wallace. And Turner, he's going to shoot two again. Free throws one more time for the Pacers' longest tenured player. The first shot. Too far. McConnell and Siakam will check back in. McConnell securing his mouthpiece as Mathurin subs out. 9 minutes for Turner. He has only 1 point, 0 for 1 shooting for him. Fans are getting loud here. Trying to jeer on Turner as he's shooting the second one. He missed both. Hustling for the rebound is Dort. It bounces off of Nesmith. Fans think that it should be Thunder ball. McConnell spins around Caruso. McConnell on the mid-range shot. That's what bounced up and out. It'll be grabbed by SGA. A chaotic sequence on one end. Doesn't finish off on the other. Cason Wallace will try again. This bounces up over the backboard. It's pure chaos here in Oklahoma City. In the absence of Tyrese Haliburton, the Pacers must persevere. And through the pain, they must take all the gain. Siakam sets it up. NBA champion with the 2019 Toronto Raptors. 6-11 from deep are the Pacers. On free throws, Indiana 6-11. Turnovers 7-2. Pacers. Thunder doing an excellent job defensively here. Game 7. McConnell goes inside, scoops and lays it in. He finds a way. His eyes on the back of his head. Wallace. Will sell this back up for Caruso. Driving down the right side. Chet, left corner. Left on an island. Too far. And the rebound is tipped. Secured by Nesmith. A free to tie. A two to pull for one. Left side McConnell. He is blitzed. Over to Nembhard. He'll drive. Andrew Nembhard lays this one in. Took some contact. And a timeout by Mark Dagno. 5:22 to go. On this quarter. Reggie Miller made the trip. It's McConnell. He backs in and out. And then back in on Chet Holmgren. With the reverse layup. He knew it was behind the basket. Eyes on the back of his head. Nembhard take his time with this one. And just laying this one in. We'll be right back in a moment. As we go around here through Game 7 of this year's NBA Finals, it is a beautiful day at Oklahoma City. Fans tweeting out in support of Tyrese Haliburton. Everyone praying that he is alright. Former teammate De'Aaron Fox also saying his condolences on the way. Indiana has cut this to a 1-point game. Haliburton will not return for what they rule as a lower leg injury. Some were speculating it's a torn Achilles. Williams fakes a free. He'll fire it now. Short on it. Nembhard gets the rebound. Up the far side, Andrew Nembhard. He'll look to Aaron Nesmith. Gets a screen. Another free. Bounced up and out. Both teams exchange missed frees. Dort has this rebound through the far side. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander moving up. Screen set by Chet Holmgren. Shai. Blitz by McConnell. Spins. Kicks out. Dort. A free. Cash money. Lucian Dort made sure this one will count. Just the fourth three-pointer of the game for the Thunder here tonight as McConnell will look from the logo. Right around SGA. McConnell. Fans chanting defense here as McConnell step up. Looking towards Turner. Turner puts one up and tight and knocks it down. From the free throw line, Miles Turner showing a mid-range game. On the right, it is J-Dub. Screen set by Dort. Bring out space. He'll fire another free. This one bounced up. And it's grabbed by Nembhard. Ahead over to McConnell. Down the left wing side. Caruso's on him. Caruso tried to blitz him. On the right. McConnell. Caruso staying with him. Tightly guarding him. Less than 4 minutes to go. McConnell. Shifting to the left. Chet Holmgren blitzing him. The mid-range jumper. Good. The tight coverage didn't matter. It is tied at 40. On the near side. SGA. McConnell 10 minutes. 4 points already. Chet Holmgren taking this down. Rejected as it rolls out. Grabbed by McConnell to keep it alive. Near side Nembhard. He'll look. As he's watched on the opposite side. Miles Turner. Short. And his rebounds grabbed by Dort. Tried to hustle. I don't know if that was the right decision. SGA. Splitting by the gap. SGA taking it. Rejected by Siakam. Near side will be McConnell. Siakam tried to turn the defense into offense. Almost had it knocked away. Siakam on the give. Turner mishandled the pass. It'll go to OKC. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's having himself a nice early start. Pascal Siakam is an underrated defender. That sequence showed why as he recovered right in time with the defensive recovery and it swatted away on the layup attempt. 3:08 to go here in this first half. 8 turnovers against the Pacers. This is a kickball violation. Off the intended pass on Williams to Hartenstein. It'll stay with OKC. So stay put here. The Siakam quietly good defensively. Trying to win his second NBA Finals. Alex Caruso also trying to win his second. Rick Carlisle is also trying to win his second. Dort will look. He's going to look to Casey Wallace, who almost bobbled it. J-Dub. Boxed out by Siakam. He's looking right side on the wing. SGA. Down the middle. Rejected by Turner. It's a goaltend. It bounced off the window. The block was late from Miles Turner. Jalen Williams needs to step up here in this game 7. We need to wonder where he is. Nembhard from mid-range. Short. And it's grabbed by Hartenstein, who shakes off with Nembhard. Gets it up near side for Jalen Williams. We wonder where he is at. Opposite side, SGA on Nembhard. The one-on-one offensive matchup. Nembhard staying with him for the attempted screen by Hartenstein. Goes towards the right. SGA splitting the gap. Kicked out left corner. J-Double. Thought about shooting the free. Dort fires this one. Deep 2. That one rolled out. Hartenstein trying to secure it. And we may have another jump ball. 0.5 on the clock. So maybe win-win either way for the Pacers. The Thunder have to get a quick shot off. 0.5 on the shot clock. 2:19 to go here in this second quarter. This team is going to be difficult to get around. To get this ball, you have to fight through contact immediately. If Obi Toppin is going to sub back in, Turner is going to sit down. Hartenstein, I believe it's going to go up against Nesmith on this jump ball. Nonetheless, we assume that there's going to be a shot clock violation. It'll go out of bounds. As it was touched by Hartenstein, the Pacers will start up. Nembhard will be the trigger man. He's going to look from left to right, and he'll get it back. Taking over the point guard duties for the Pacers. When it's been a back and forth game. Bennedict Mathurin is going to look on the left. He'll get it back from Nesmith. Mathurin. He'll pull up from free. Yes, sir! Bennedict Mathurin drills it. The lead is now 1 for the Pacers in what has been a back and forth game 7. But what else hasn't been a back and forth game 7? 5 turnovers here for OKC as this is a travel against Hartenstein. Mathurin setting up on SGA. Trying to contest it. No can do. Low arching shot. And nonetheless solid here for the Pacers. 1:49 to go here in this first half. 13 minutes, 8 points, 3 of 7 shooting. Looking at the right wing, it is Nembhard. Trying to get around Caruso. Toppin. Serving around. Getting it back. Nembhard. Going left here. Caruso staying with it. Nembhard. Pickpocketed. Toppin fires the free. Bounced up. Siakam the tip. Couldn't get it, but there's a foul here. Both teams are in the bonus. There'll be free throws for the Pacers because of that contact right on Siakam. Cason Wallace, loose ball foul. If you're Wallace, you don't have the size advantage. Ideally, you want to put a big bogey right in front. And Hartenstein was the right guy to do it. Siakam, shooting the first one. He's got it. 2-point game here in game 7. At halftime, we're going to discuss about the recent news, the Haliburton injury, and the Kevin Durant trade that has transpired right before this game. Tonight, the NBA will crown their champion, whether it be the Pacers or the Thunder. Siakam waits before delivering the shot. Got both. 3-point lead here at OKC, and it's Caruso who set up the Pacers on a 9-2 run in the last 3:23. It's Hartenstein. He'll look back over to J-Dub. Siakam blitzing. Williams. He'll move up towards the paint. Stepping back. Pulls back. SGA with 4. With 3. Pulling one up from free. Bounced up and out. Siakam gets the rebound. Nembhard over to TJ McConnell. McConnell down the other end. Boxed out by SGA. Moving over towards the left wing. Nembhard's all the way out. Andrew Nembhard pulling up. Boxed out by Hartenstein, the mid-range floater. Too far. McConnell. Williams swats it away. SGA pulls up on the way back. A free to tie. Shai to Hartenstein. He's fouled and won! A chance to tie the game with 39.2. The MVP loving to dish out the balls left and right over to Isaiah Hartenstein, setting up the pick and roll game, and that time it was to perfection. Unbelievable feed from Shai to Hartenstein, making impact here as he was falling down through the contact from Siakam. Wow. Obi Toppin getting called for the foul. 4 points for Hartenstein. He's got 6 rebounds. 2 free shooting on the night for Hartenstein. His and one's good. We're tied at 45. SGA loving the moment here in game 7. No lights are too bright for him. Oh, a shove here. And the Thunder will get it back. Luguentz Dort got shoved by Bennedict Mathurin. Won himself a horrendous ending to game 4. Rick Carlisle basically saying, what are you doing to Bennedict Mathurin? That was an unwarranted foul for the Pacers. That is not the play that you want here. Just turned himself into a fullback at that moment in time. Unwarranted foul. Already the Pacers sitting at 9 turnovers. The Thunder have 5 turnovers. No moment is too big for these two teams. As Shai, he'll fake the free. Take his time with this one. He'll pull up, spinning, drawing up, in and out. Oh, Andrew Nembhard. Ain't that foul? It will be half a second of the difference between the shot clock and the game clock once the Pacers have it up. And SGA shooting 2. That almost was a basket. They have just confirmed it's an Achilles injury, like many had speculated. The first shot's good. And everyone is surrounding. So the Haliburton family is back there. He's watching the game. Watching his team back at the locker room. Vying for a Pacer victory. OKC leading by 1. Pacers wanting to win this not only for their city, but for Haliburton. Shai makes both. 47-45 with 24.5 to go. It is an Achilles injury for Haliburton. Siakam, over the far side, looking around Caruso. Siakam gets right by him. Pacers have the last shot if they do get it out before the half-second mark. Their team has any fouls to give, as Nembhard, he'll look with 6 seconds. Nembhard, he'll pull one up from deep. And he got it! Andrew Nembhard from IMS. Thunder at the last shot, all the way from half court. And the half ends. Indiana leading 48-47 as SGA tried to settle for a half court shot. Nembhard, what a shot! In the absence of Tyrese Haliburton, every player is made for the big moments. A step back free right on Chet Holmgren. Wow! When we come back as a halftime report, where we discuss the Kevin Durant trade to the Houston Rockets and more. We'll be right back. For the halftime report, I'm Alec Nava saying, see you in a bit. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Report. The Pacers lead by just 1 point in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Tyrese Haliburton and Andrew Nembhard each have 9 points. Haliburton played 7 minutes before he left the game with a torn Achilles, as just confirmed. That's now 3 torn Achilles in this postseason. All my players awarded number 0. Damian Lillard in the first round, Jason Tatum in the second round, and now Haliburton here in Game 7 of the Finals. Pascal Siakam in Haliburton's absence has 10 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist. Nembhard has stepped up to the tune of 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Benedict Mathurin off the bench, 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. A steal and a block for TJ McConnell, 2 steals and a block for Aaron Nesmith. On the defensive effort for the Pacers. For the Thunder, 16 points for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists. He's feeding dimes left and right. 8 points for Alex Caruso, 2 of them on 3-pointers. 3 steals for Caruso, another 3 for Cason Wallace, and his defensive juggernaut. 5 points each for Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Luguentz Stewart. On the other hand, and everyone has been playing their game throughout. The largest lead for either team tonight has been 5 points. 10 times have both teams been tied in this game. Fast break points are 5 for OKC. Points to the paint, 20-12 OKC. Shooting wise, the Pacers 16 of 38, the Thunder 17 of 42. From 3, the Pacers are 8 of 16, the Thunder are 4 of 18. So the 3-point shooting woes have largely continued. On free throws, both teams have each shot 13 times. The Thunder made 9, the Pacers 8. Rebounds 22-20 Thunder. Assists are 11-9 Thunder. Steals 6-3 Thunder. Blocks are 3-2 Pacers. The Pacers committed 9 turnovers to the Thunder's 5, and the Thunder have outscored the Pacers on points off turnovers 9-5. Coincidence? Maybe that is. We go over to the Kevin Durant trade. It's a blockbuster. Houston is going to the next level contention with this trade. So hours before, the Suns and Rockets lined up to send Durant to Houston in a deal that sends it back to the state in which he played college basketball with, even though UT Austin is closer to San Antonio. It's more or less of a homecoming. On the other way, the Suns get Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, pick number 10 of this year's draft, and 5 second-round picks. Some were saying the Suns may be going full rebuild. With the Rockets, there was a strange contrast over the last month and discussions of KD's next destination between the Rockets, Spurs, and Miami Heat. Youth and depth left the Pacers and Thunder to the finals, yet teams are competing to catch them by giving up multiple contributors to bring in KD, who turned 37 at the start of training camp. There's only one starter who's older than 28, that being Fred VanVleet. And the Rockets were best positioned to thread the needle surrounding KD with enough talent to contend for a championship. So, especially since the price dropped to the point where they didn't have to include any of their most prized young players in return. During the regular season, the Rockets were able to make up with frequent use of transition by dominating the offensive glass. No team averaged more points per missed shot on second chances than Houston. Both of those factors tend to dry up in the playoffs, especially late in close games. They went 0-3 in clutch games against the Warriors, posting an ugly 91 offensive rating with a margin inside 5 points in the last 5 minutes of those games per NBA's advanced stats. In the 7-game series, where the Rockets lost to the Warriors, need more for a half-court scoring punch. Exposed the Rockets need for a more half-court scoring punch. They ranked 22nd in points per play in the first attempt to score outside transition, ahead of only the Magic among playoff teams. Although KD is no longer a single scorer in his prime, he's still as good as just about anyone creating his own offense. And he can give the Rockets someone who's willing to take the last shot. Among players with a usage rate of 28% or higher in at least 500 minutes last season, only Nikola Jokic surpassed Durant's .642 true shooting percentage. The contrast with Jalen Green especially favors KD. Also number 2 picked, Jay Wood had Houston's highest usage rate last season with a below average .544 true shooting percentage. All the young stars faced a tough adjustment to the playoffs, but none's no more so than Jalen Green, who averaged 13.3 points per game on 37% shooting. His 38-point game 2 was the only time he surpassed 12 points or shot better than 40% in this series. Essentially, the Warriors condensed all the fears about Green's weaknesses as the leading scorer into one salient 7-game sample. The bigger loss will be Dylan Brooks, as he was key for the culture that was instilled what Ime Udoka is installing here. He helped transform Houston's defensive culture. As much as the Rockets utilize depth to finish atop a crowded pack of West contenders in the regular season, they're suddenly thin on the perimeter. Amen Thompson is going to no doubt be a key part to solving what issues this trade creates. Houston, he was their perimeter stopper last season because he can defend on the perimeter 6'7", swapping two wings for Durant, mostly for the Rockets' power forward to their shooting guard without fundamentally altering the structure of the offense. It's going to be interesting to see if Ime settles on a fifth starter alongside KD, Alperen Sengun, Amen Thompson, and Fred VanVleet. Jabari Smith Jr. could move back to the starting five after Thompson replaced him in the lineup mid-season, which would give the Rockets a front court full of players listed at 6'11". Alternatively, Houston's most like-for-like replacement for Brooks would be Tari Eason, who was played as a six-man. And promoting one of those players to the starting five does put more pressure on Reed Sheppard and Cam Whitmore, but more playing time for them too. Whitmore was at the fringes of Ime Udokas's rotation when everyone was healthy, and Sheppard played just 654 minutes as a rookie. Whitmore's been productive when he has gotten an opportunity. Sheppard was one of the top-rated prospects of last year's draft. So the Rockets front office is justifying believing both players are capable of contributing more. Adding KD and presumably signing him to extension beyond 26 will force difficult financial choices for the Rockets. Having signed center Steven Adams to a 3-year, $39 million extension, the Rockets are pushing the luxury tax this season. If they fill out their roster of players making the minimum, they're about $33 million below the projected luxury tax line before addressing VanVleet. They had a $44.9 million team option for him, but could decline it in favor of a long-term deal that pays him less in 26. Those are problems for another day, though. He's just moved on to the next phase of an impressive roster build without giving up one of the most valuable draft picks on the first round. And the Rockets retain the Suns' unprotected 2027 first rounder, plus the opportunity to get the two best of picks for the Suns, Nets, and Mavericks in 2029. They also have a swap to the Nets in 2027 that puts pressure on the Nets' rebuild to accelerate. And because of the combination of young talent and the lack of a go-to scorer, the Rockets, they were the best fit as KD's next team, realistically. Now we'll see whether he can lift the Rockets to their first playoff series win since James Harden was starring in Houston in 2020. That's all for this halftime report. I'm Malik Nava saying we'll see you for the second half. In the case that we need overtime here in the NBA Finals, it would just be the third time in which an NBA Finals Game 7 would go to overtime. But it's not been since 1961 since it has happened, as the Pacers lead 48-47 here. 1962, actually. 110-107, where the Lakers defeat, in which the Celtics defeated the Lakers. It's the most recent NBA Finals Game 7 to go to overtime. The first time the Celtics defeated the St. Louis Hawks 125-123 in double overtime. 10 lead changes, 9 ties. Largest lead is 5 points, split between these two teams. That's how tight this Game 7 has been. The margin of error is 0 between the both of them. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 16 points. Jalen Williams, 5 points. No Tyrese Haliburton. For the rest of this game, it is a torn Achilles that's confirmed by his dad. We're underway here for the second half. It'll be 24 more minutes, at least, here of Game 7. On the way back, J-Dub. He'll set up at the logo as we get set here. Caruso setting up the screen on the left side. Williams wanting to jumpstart this offense, moving back out over to SGA. Does Shai get at the screen here? He won't. Shai, he'll put one up from free. He falls back as this is knocked away. He'll stay with the Thunder. Touched by Nesmith. The Pacers went back to the locker rooms. They were all fired up after Andrew Nembhard's go-ahead three-point shot. Only twice since the NBA-ABA merger has the road team won an NBA Finals Game 7 in 8 attempts. It's the 9th such Game 7 as Rick Carlisle is arguing with the officials. As we get started here, SGA, he'll try again from free. Can't knock it down. The rebound from Chet is put through. The second effort. Chet Holmgren, second career Game 7. Why to make the most of this and jumpstart this young dynasty, potentially. No catch and shoot free from Mathurin. On the right side, Nembhard. Right out is Nesmith, rather. Nembhard can't get it back, and it bounced off a Pacer. It'll go to the Thunder. With Alex Caruso triggering inside. Miscues from the Pacers here early. This has not been a good signage here early in the second half. Can't be too complacent. The Thunder 4 for 20 on three-pointers. SGA to J-Dub. Will this be the fifth three-pointer? It won't. Here's Dort jumping up for the rebound. He'll swing it over for SGA. One-on-one with Nesmith as he puts his back to him. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander fakes the pass. Then kicks it back out onto the left wing side. Dort from the logo. The logo! Lucius Dort logo ball! Oh my goodness! On the right side, the counter from Nesmith. Rejected! Here comes the pass to Siakam. Revenge shot is good! He tells the Thunder, block this! Pascal Siakam, 80 of 13 points. Jalen Williams on the way back. Over to Caruso, sells this one up, fouled. Oh my, Lucius Dort logo ball. What in the world? A moon ball shot from Lucius Dort. That was a shot. How in the world? As the shot clock was winding down, a desperation heave. SGA kicks it out left side. It'll be Dort chiming in. Dort settling this one. The pass to SGA. He gets it with two. Finds a cutting Caruso. Gets it back and rattles it in. Multiple efforts from Alex Caruso on the third try. He gets it. Mathurin on the left wing. Across to Turner. All the way back for Nembhard. Nembhard from free. Bounced in and out. As Dort went up and down. Shai on the left wing. One off Nembhard plowing down. Back down at the paint. Dort will try again for the point. A little too far. Oh, Caruso was bumped. Fans calling for a foul. They won't get it. Caruso hustles back. As it's taken away by Williams. 2-on-1 here with SGA. Williams, Euros, puts it up and through. J-Dub. Saucing and crossing here in Game 7. Timeout, Indiana. A defensive machine as Bandic Mathurin misheld the pass Williams went around, Euro-stepping around Andrew Nembhard. Size advantage matters, but Mathurin tried to swat away. He took that shot up, and he's fired up, trying to get the Thunder an all-important NBA title. We'll return here in Game 7. J-Dub getting this crowd on its feet. They have been standing here the whole time throughout Game 7 of the NBA Finals. And right to let the Pacers go into all gold uniforms. Gold rush throughout the finals. Quick free from Nesmith. He can't counter. It's touched and grabbed by... I thought that was Nesmith, but rather it was someone else. Nesmith. Rebound as he was going for it. It's a loose ball foul. It's going to go against Jalen Williams. The Thunder lead 56-51 here. And J-Dub, as he's trying to contest this one, going back as he did a circus shot on the way back. Some are saying that it should be called a travel against Williams as it swung back over to Mathurin. Benedict Mathurin moves towards the left side, swings it out over to Nembhard. Nembhard will look to the right as the screen set by Turner. Nembhard puts one up. It rolled out, but he's going to go to the line. The foul is against Chet Holmgren. Barta's young and exciting core on the Thunder, saying an NBA record 68, saying a franchise record 68 wins. It's Nembhard. He jumped up, pulling up. What the Pacers have to do is that they should not get into foul trouble. First shot's good. Red Carlisle's been here. He's done this before. TJ McConnell checking back in. Carlisle coached a similarly constructed Mavericks team to a championship in 2011 against the juggernaut Miami Heat. led by LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. 10 points for Nembhard here. He shoots the second one, and he's got it. 56-53. The lead here for the Thunder. 41% shooting for the Thunder, 40% for the Pacers. Down the left side, Williams pulls up. Oh, he was a little too fast. Up the far side, it'll be Nembhard shaking it back on Caruso. Could not get by him. Stingy defense as he's continuing to be aggressive on every ball. Towards the right, Turner's left wide open. Big shot! Miles Turner from Fort Wayne. He struggled from free throughout the finals, but he's tied the game again. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He'll step back and try to answer. He's got it! His first three-pointer of the game. 59-56. OKC leading. He's got 19. And that's on the sixth try. T.J. McConnell will look around. Can't get by Dort as he is boxing him out all the way. He's put on a headlock. Ball poked away. 3-on-1 for the Thunder. Inside. Turner says no. It's still OKC ball as Turner poked the ball out of bounds to deny them a 3-on-1 chance. What a defensive play all on the backcourt as he poked away the ball from Luguentz Dort on the pass intended for Chet Holmgren. SGA closed out by Nembhard on the right side. Well, it's a 3-on-1 is instead even playing court. Chet Holmgren, big shot! Largest lead tonight for either side. 6 points, and Chet gets the Thunder rocking and rolling. I haven't said that yet, but inside this goes for the Pacers. His ball knocked away by OKC. Here they come again with numbers. On the left wing, he is settled back for Shai. SGA with the screen from Chet. Is he going to look back? No, he's going to spin and get out left corner. Another free. Now stopping out and in. Timeout, Indiana. A lucky bounce. But a bounce is what it took for OKC to score the last 9 points in the last 77 seconds. We'll return here from Paycom Center in a moment. This place is loud. at the largest lead of tonight. That's for OKC. 9 points off back-to-back-to-back three-pointers. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander got it started. As his mid-range shot was closed off, he finds an open Chet Holmgren. Then he spins around, finding Jalen Williams around this one, around the rim, and settled this one in. He got the bounce. The Thunder outscored the Pacers 18-8 in this third quarter. On 7 of 13 shooting, the Pacers 2 of 6. Here's McConnell. Round this one in on the layup. Here's some pushback from the Pacers. If there's anyone that they can rely on off the bench, this is their go-to guy. Lucius Dort, who had a logo ball earlier here in Game 7. A moonshot. Jalen Williams, a long back for Dort. And it's SGA. He's going to look one-on-one with Nembhard. Powering down. Sells with a mid-range jumper and got it. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander banks it off the glass. Back and forth. He's got 21 with 9 assists. After a game, he's got 8 turnovers. He's got none by this point in Game 7. McConnell. Boxed out by Chet Holmgren. Excellent job. McConnell. Chet's giving him nothing here. Obi Toppin. Poked away by Kaysen Wallace. Chet is on the way back here. Whereas Lou Dort. Excellent defense by Dort. All the way back is Wallace. And I apologize to both of them for confusing between the two of them. Shai. Wallace all the way at the right corner. Nembhard single coverage. Left wing. Williams. Stepping into it. On Neesmith. Laying this one up. Sell it out. Turner sets it to himself on the rebound. McConnell for Neesmith. Back for McConnell. McConnell shaking and baking on the right side. McConnell laying this one in. Once again, TJ McConnell being the reliable bench presence. Thunder have some substitutions coming in. That includes Hartenstein and Caruso. Those are the two that are up next. SGA sets back and fires. Bounced in and out. Toppin will jump off for the rebound. Nembhard on the right wing side. Backing out of it. Toppin gives it back to him. McConnell again. Right to hot hand now off the bench. Will he settle for another jumper? He will. Rouse is in. TJ McConnell. This cannot be stopped. He's on a heater. He's got the last 6 Pacer points. On the right, SGA. They're approaching Chet. The flush down the middle. Shaded Chet. A tale as old as time. Near side is McConnell. On the left wing, McConnell blazing down. Laying this one up. Rattles it in. What else can you say? Mark Daigneault is looking towards the bench. See if he can take a timeout anytime soon. SGA. Foul here. Miles Turner. Now the question is, was SGA in the act of shooting? And TJ McConnell beat out Kaysen Wallace to him. Wallace trying to get the poke right behind. Nothing doing. It's McConnell. He elevate this one right over Wallace. 4 straight baskets from McConnell for the Pacers. He's got their last 8 points. Even though the Pacers are close, they need to get closer. 4:31 to go here in the third quarter. It's his father looking onwards. Shai hits the first one. TJ's sister Megan McConnell playing for the Phoenix Mercury of the WNBA. In the third quarter, he has 8 points. That's accounted for 8 of his 12 points. He scored the team's last 8 points too. Andrew Nembhard looking onwards. SGA, an excellent free throw shooter. Tony Bradley checks in. Hartenstein Caruso back on. And Shai misses the second one. And Bradley, they deflect this one out. Well, no, he didn't. SGA, 22 points, 10 assists, no turnovers. A double-double for Shai. Wanting to capitalize this in a winning effort. Nembhard spinning around Wallace. Andrew Nembhard, mid-range jumper. Rattled out, and the rebound swatted towards Caruso. Alex Caruso looks at the left side. Opposite side, Dort from free. Bouncing it out. Caruso. Oh my goodness, he was blocked. On the right wing, McConnell. TJ McConnell forced outside by SGA. Caruso in on Neesmith. He'll swing it to Toppin. The switch. McConnell trying to blow by SGA. Another shot. 10 straight. Dominant here in this third quarter. McConnell with the last 10 Pacer points. SGA. He's going to look at the left wing. Passing this one for Caruso and the extra one for Wallace. And then Dort, right corner. Bouncing it out. McConnell. There's that man again. He's feeling it here. He has 5 rebounds to go to the 10 third quarter points. 3:26 to go here in the third quarter. McConnell going for 12 straight. He's going to pass to Bradley. Bradley swings it out for Toppin. Boxed out. And it's this. An offensive foul and a turnover against the Pacers. Neesmith wondering why I to call. But there is no call. There's no argument here. As this is an out-of-bounds lost ball turnover against Obi Toppin. Who lost it. McConnell on a heater. He has the last 10 Pacer points. Still the Thunder lead 70-66 with 3:19 to go here in the third quarter. Caruso. Wallace trying to set up. Over the right side, J-Dub. Wanting to get another big game here. Williams. Towards the left. Hardenstein trying to set the screen. Bradley, 1-on-1. Williams feeding Hardenstein. Kicked out left corner is Cason Wallace. Yes, sir! Cason Wallace from Norman. Back up to 7 for OKC. They shot 5 of 12 from deep in this quarter. Their best 3-point shooting quarter here as Hardenstein pokes it away. A hand on it. Wallace again. Yes! On the layup. Cason Wallace capitalizing off the Hardenstein poke. Now the Pacers have to capitalize this time around. 16 turnovers. So what's this deja vu of game 1? Foul here as Obi Toppin had it reached in from Jalen Williams. Is this going to be game 1 all over again? Or is game 7 going to be one where the Thunder seal the deal and not give up a fourth quarter barrage from the Pacers? You know the Pacers have a penchant for the dramatic. They know how to spot a team down several points. Mathurin checks in the place of Ben Shepherd with 2:28 to go here in the third. Wallace will check out. The Thunder outscoring the Pacers 28-18 in the third on 11-22 shooting. The Pacers 7-12 shooting here in the third. Thomas Bryant in the game for the first time with Bradley checking out. McConnell trying to get the inbound and does. McConnell activating up for the right side on the rush. Kicked out all the way for free. Bryant missed. Rebounds grabbed by the Pacers with Mathurin. Was this poked by the Thunder? They'll say it was. 2:20 to go here in the quarter. It is a 75-66 OKC lead. It hasn't been since 37 years since the team has reached 100 points in an NBA Finals Game 7. The Thunder trying to become that team. 5-second violation. No lane was open. And the 8th turnover for the Pacers here in the third quarter. And that's the first mistake that TJ McConnell did here in this third. In a quarter that was going everything correct for him. Williams on the left. The Thunder played a near perfect third quarter. No turnovers for them. And they have taken off from here. J-Dub. So now Hardenstein slips. Williams gets it through. It's up to double digits. 77-66. The Pacers are having it starting to slip away from them. And Rick Carlisle wants another timeout. Pandemonium here at the Oklahoma State Capitol. OKC on their feet here. We'll be right back to you from Paycom Center. OKC shutting down Indiana on the inbound sequence. And McConnell, Thomas Bryant calling for repeatedly is a pass it. But McConnell found an opening, and that's a testament to OKC's defense on how locked down they are. Jalen Williams with a layup. And Indiana trying to go full speed ahead on this sequence. McConnell over towards the far side for Turner. TJ McConnell once more. OKC has taken control of this third quarter. Will Indiana respond here? McConnell, 12 straight. TJ McConnell making up for the blunder earlier in this third quarter in the late stages. Less than 100 seconds to go. The Thunder are closing in on 80 points. McConnell scored the last 12 points for the Pacers. Williams, step back. Bounced in. Jalen Williams needing a big game here. It's back up to 11 points for OKC. 79-68 on the right. McConnell slips. Can't take the shot, but there is a foul as he was closing in. Another step back for J-Dub as he finds the opening, creating space for himself. And McConnell, he shakes and bakes around Hartenstein. Puts him on roller skates up and around. Jalen Williams having himself an outstanding night in Game 5. Josh Tiven checking in. He's convening with the three officials to check the foul. Rick Carlisle red hot to see if this was a foul against Williams or if this is just a slip up by McConnell. It'll stay with the Pacers nonetheless. It is McConnell. 14 points for J-Dub. Ben Shepherd for free. Bounced out. It'll be grabbed by Hartenstein. Shepherd, outside of that buzzer beater in the third quarter of Game 6, has really had it rough shooting from deep. 1 minute to go here. Williams drives. He'll pull up. Can't finish it. It'll be grabbed by Benedict Mathurin. The Pacers need another big fourth quarter if they were to complete this. Mathurin over to McConnell. McConnell trying to make it 14 straight, which he does not. A rare miss from McConnell, and a quarter has been almost perfection for him. Hartenstein. And a timeout here with 35.7. That will be Mark Dagnall's timeout. Just to get the line changes. We'll step back here with you with the Thunder leading. In 3 days, the NBA draft will begin. In all likelihood, Cooper Flagg will end up as a Dallas Maverick. We are 35.7 seconds away from the fourth quarter of Game 7 of the NBA Finals. The Thunder trying to wrap it up here and close out the Pacers. Points off turnovers in the third quarter, 18-0 OKC. That's been that big of an advantage. And Rick Carlisle must adjust in between quarters. SGA from mid-range. Can't hit it. Turner tipped it into his own basket. This is the largest lead tonight, but Turner erroneously tipped it into his own basket. 5-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Miles Turner trying to make up for that blunder. It's been a comedy of errors for the Pacers here in the third. Ay. 2 seconds for Siakam. Drives up on Caruso, had a hand on it. And Aaron Wiggins the rebound. The Thunder can run this out. They want to. Shai from midcourt. And that ends the third. 81-68. And the Thunder are 12 minutes away, should they hold on to this, from winning their first title since they were the SuperSonics in 1979. Oklahoma City, they can just see the finish line in sight. The fourth quarter is next. Fourth quarters just began. The Pacers smoke a layup. The Thunder have scored 18 points off turnovers in that third quarter alone. More than the first half combined. And their 9 points as this rebound could not be taken up. And it'll stay with OKC. The Thunder trying to complete the finish line. T.J. McConnell scored the last 12 Pacer points of the third quarter. Pascal Siakam's back out there, so is Aaron Nesmith. Jalen Williams played with 4 fouls. SGA is going to look. Trigger man is Aaron Wiggins. Wafted over to Shai. Trying to complete a perfect season and to cap it off of Finals MVP. Aaron Wiggins the screen. He gets the pass from Shai. Watched by Mathurin. Spinning around. Kicked out to Caruso and now Shai. SGA waiting. Everyone's playing catch. Step back three on the way. Yes, sir! Shai Gilgeous-Alexander! The lead's now 16 as the Thunder starting to pull away with this one. Naismith, he's going to look. Pass it back over to Toppin. Backs against the wall for the Pacers. Naismith walked right into a brick wall. His name is Chet Holmgren. Shai and Chet saying Thunder Ball. They're trying to get Mark Daigneault to challenge it. And he will. Per the behest of the players and the fans, Daigneault's going to challenge it to look if this was going to be a travel. We will check back with you for an update on the status, but in all likelihood, we will come back and likely will be Thunderball when we return. It's a 16-point lead for the Thunder here in Game 7. The Pacers came back from down 15. But this time, if they were to make a comeback, they'll have to do it without Tyrese Haliburton. He is out for the rest of the game with a torn Achilles. As he slips up, trying to pass the ball. Oof. A rough sight. In which fans are going to think, what if he stay in the game? The call is overturned, so it's a successful challenge for Daigneault. Caruso going to look as Wiggins towards his right. He is at the left wing. Passes up on the left corner for Shai, who is at the inside of it. Shai, post up. Can't deliver. Naismith to rebound. Up the far side, Siakam. Gonna have to lead this comeback. Pascal Siakam driving up on Chet Holmgren. Doubled up. Kicked out over to Mathurin. One step and a double step. A first step. Move back for Siakam. Post up for free. Bounced up and out. Rebound is hustling for. And Mathurin. This will go the other way. On a foul that is called on the offensive side, that looks to be Naismith. A foul away for the play as he wrestled down Caruso. That's to make life easy for Mathurin to get the ball. That prevented Caruso from getting the rebound, and here he has it. Chance to make Naismith pay. 4 fouls against him. On the right side, SGA. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander going to work here. Shai spins, kicks it out. On the left wing, Aaron Wiggins. Can't deliver. Nesmith hustles to the rebound. Ahead of Chet Holmgren. Mavericks moving back the other side. They need to hustle here in a hurry. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. Nesmith from the logo going back for Mavericks. Up front, Siakam fouled by Shai. 2:05 into the fourth. Thunder trying to hold on to this lead. And Siakam, he was getting hooked time and time again by SGA. They're going to commit a foul there for hooking on a foul away for the play. They called it at the time in which he received the pass. Those fouls were warranted. Lombard will look to McConnell. Watson tight by Dort. McConnell gets away from him once, trying to get away from him again. He is fouled hard by Dort. The Thunder are saying he slipped and they traveled. Since the 8:32 mark of the third, only McConnell has scored for the Pacers. He has their last 12 points. Everyone else has been bageled. On the defense, this is a defensive masterclass for the Thunder here in this Game 7, should they hold on to win this. And Casey Wallace is going to sub in. He was a player that the Thunder got in return for Derek Lively ahead of his draft in 2023. McConnell looking back on this. Aaron Nesmith over to Pascal Siakam. The Pacers have yet to score here in the fourth quarter. Passed over to Nesmith. Blocked away. It lands onto Siakam. Puts it up. Rattled in and out. Chet the rebound. Chet Holmgren moves up the near side. Chet has been a menace everywhere on the court. Defensively and offensively. And he makes his presence here defensively. The Thunder are 15 of 31 shooting in this half. The Pacers 8 of 22. Defense does win championships. Shai delivers to Wallace, who delivers. The 11th time from the MVP who's trying to win Finals MVP. He's got 25 points without a turnover. Most impressively, no turnovers. McConnell back at it as he shakes around for the double team. Nesmith rejected by Chet Holmgren. Dort grabs it and saves it from going out of bounds. The second straight block by Chet on consecutive defensive possessions. His fourth of the game. It's madness here in Oklahoma City. Grabbed by Casey Wallace off the miss free from Shai. All the way back out to him. He's going to look. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander splits the gap. Kicked out left side, a free. Yes, sir! Pandemonium here at Oklahoma City. And J-Dub and company, of course, they can see the finish line. 89-68 as they are holding the Pacers without a point in the fourth. Timeout, Pacers. Oh. Ian, as we get you on here, talk about a defensive masterclass in the second half.
I agree, man. Sorry, I got pulled into a shift for the weekend, but we're at a down period, so I'm joining you hopefully for the rest of this fourth quarter, and barring one of the most miraculous comebacks ever, it's looking like that legacy of failure by the Seattle SuperSonics / Oklahoma City Thunder will be coming to an end.
46 long years. That's how long this franchise has waited for a title to come to either Seattle or Oklahoma City. A long wait. Oh, this is unbelievable, Ian. The most impressive part of SGA's 12 assists is that he doesn't have a single turnover.
Wow. That is awesome. I mean, I can't even... Folks listening in, do you know how difficult that is to do? Have 12 assists and 0 turnovers up to this point in the fourth quarter? That doesn't happen.
You don't see this often by anyone. It's considered almost impossible among any player. But here we are, ethical. And this is efficiency at its finest. Of course, the mental lapses from the 8 turnover game overcome. Of course, when you come back home, that's your comfort zone. And Chet Holmgren, 3 blocks in the game. But the best shot might have to be Luguentz Dort's logo ball in the second quarter. Oh. It's just an unbelievable run by OKC. This is historically good, Ian.
Yeah. Even though it's only one final series, I had to ask, Alec, does this whole saga put Sam Presti on the verge of being one of the best GMs in NBA history? I mean, really, think about it.
Yeah. I feel we have to start putting the discussion. Of course, we talk about all the trades that he made and how he rebuilt this Thunder team from scratch. Ever since 353 left in the third, the Thunder have scored 19 of the last 21 points. And the Pacers have yet to score in the fourth. And now an illegal screen against the Pacers. So that scoring drought is going to continue as Miles Turner is going to get called for that illegal screen. So now, 19 turnovers. OKC has forced 19 turnovers in this game and has scored 27 points off of them. Here is a chance that they can make it 30 points off turnovers. We have not seen a team in Game 7 of the NBA Finals score 100 points ever since the Lakers down to the Pistons in 1988. This one bounced out. It'll be grabbed by Dort to keep the offensive possession alive. On the left wing, it'll be settled down by SGA. He has 25 points, 12 assists, no turnovers. Swung into J-Dub. No. Chet another offensive rebound. That didn't work. But more free throws as Turner gets another foul against. 7:41 to go. And it feels that this magical season for the Pacers is coming to a tragic end. But 2 crucial offensive rebounds for the Thunder. 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 blocks for the former second overall pick. He sunk the first one. He was taken in the same draft as Jalen Williams was. Williams was the 12th overall pick. And that chime of do, meaning for the substitutions as Dort subs out, being applauded by the fans here for his tremendous defensive presence all over the court. The lead is 90-68. Chet having himself a tremendous defensive game as per usual. The second shot, he missed. But barring an impossible comeback, he's going to be staying put for what has been an insane sequence here defensively. The Pacers have missed their last 9 shots until now. It's Pascal Siakam who breaks that cold funk, and they have their first point of the fourth quarter. He has 15 and 3 rebounds. Fans chanting OKC here. This is one of the toughest places to play at. And a tough environment. It's SGA. He falls down, and that's the first giveaway that SGA's committed. He has not have a turnover up until this point. And that speaks to the amazing game that he has had. 25 points and 12 assists. But who else would it be other than TJ McConnell to force that turnover? He was right on his face. 7 minutes to go. Just the first turnover of the game in this half as Siakam was fouled. SGA gets a foul. But it's impressive that the Thunder have not had a turnover until in the second half until now. SGA has his first turnover against him, and he has 12 assists. First shot is good, but that doesn't happen often. We're up until with 7 minutes to go in the fourth that you have 12 assists without committing a turnover. Impressive stuff from SGA, who is likely going to get Finals MVP. His all-round impact in the game, matched by a very few on this OKC team. Siakam missed the second one, but it's Mathurin blocked by Chet. His 4th block of the game. Siakam puts it up and airballs it. It'll be grabbed by J-Dub where he's fouled. Oh, he got checked onto the face by Mathurin. 4 blocks by Chet on the night. But J-Dub, he gets poked, fighting for the rebound. This kid's incredible, Ian. The Thunder will take this one inbounding from out of bounds as J-Dub, he might have got poked on the eye. Now the concern is all over him. Chet with 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 blocks. If anyone is thinking about him being a future Defensive Player of the Year contender, start thinking about that right now, because you're just seeing the beginning of him getting his Defensive Player of the Year contention, possibly for next season. SGA, in and out. It'll be grabbed by Shepard. On the way back, it'll be Nembhard. Andrew Nembhard. He'll shake and bake around Caruso. Lofted for Mathurin. Loses an edge. Gets his footing back. Alley-oops to himself. He's fouled. Benedict Mathurin with an intelligent heads-up play. He'll draw a pair of free throws towards him. So far, SGA 25 points, 5 rebounds, 12 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. Chet Holmgren, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 4 blocks. Jalen Williams, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. OKC's big three has come to play tonight. So with 6:19 to go, they're on the cusp of the finish line, unless Indiana has to stay in it. First shot is routed in. You'll have Haliburton's injury. And see all of the Pacers ride this one out. Hardenstein subs in the place of Chet and Wallace. 4 blocks for Chet as Mathurin's taking his time. Fans are getting loud here as per usual. One of the loudest crowds ever in the NBA. Both are good. 90-73. The lead here for the Thunder. Mathurin, 10 points, 9 rebounds. Off the bench, but he's shooting 3 of 10. Caruso to Hardenstein as he's surveying. Siakam's on him. Gets it over to the right side. And Jalen Williams has trouble. Siakam pokes it away. Here is Mathurin selling this one around. Mathurin the layup. And another foul. Off the rebound. Past the halfway mark of the fourth. Mathurin got checked up. Chet doing an excellent job protecting the lead. As J-Dub is hounded, nothing more to give here as Siakam gets this ball away from Hardenstein. And Mathurin driving down SGA. Trying to go for the block. Shai gets a hand check up on him. Mathurin will shoot 2 more on this next sequence. Another pair of free throws here. The Pacers trying to mount this comeback. First shot is good. He knocked that one down. The Pacers had some of the most memorable comebacks of this postseason, time and time again. Against the Bucks, against the Cavaliers, against the Knicks, and against the Thunder. They've been the comeback kings. Second shot is good. And if you're wondering, don't go anywhere just yet, because anything can happen in 6 minutes. Caruso got it in. The Pacers has the last 7 points. Alex Caruso right inside. The layup bounces in and out, but there's a foul. 5:50 and another hand check. Low shaken up. Ooh. Little too much contact as both Both teams are running right into each one another. Lujan's Dort going for the layup. And Siakam checks him up on the face. Takes him a shot when he was contesting it right onto the side of the head and then towards his arm. Got banged up good. Ooh. They are going to review to see if this meets the criteria for flagrant foul. As said by crew chief James Capers. So they're going to review it. I don't believe it should meet the criteria. But I don't think this is a flagrant foul. So everyone is over the sides. This will be treated as a de facto Pacer timeout. No flagrant foul here. It'll be 2 free throws on the sequence for OKC. So good call by Capers, the referee. It does not meet the criteria for flagrant foul. And good job at them saying as such, because even though this was a bump to the side of the head and then towards the shoulders, there was not excessive contact. Lujan's Dort shooting 2 here. So Dort getting this opportunity to get to add to this Thunder lead. They led by as much as 21. The Pacers trying to complete a miraculous comeback. And what will be the biggest comeback in Game 7 NBA history. That was set last year by the Minnesota Timberwolves against the then defending champion Denver Nuggets. First shot for Dort is good. 5:50 to go here in the fourth. 25 for SGA on 8 of 24 with 12 dimes. J-Dub 17 points on 7 of 17 with 2 steals. Chet 13 points on 5 of 7 with 4 blocks. Dort will get another opportunity. Just extend the lead to 17 points. Everyone's on their feet here at Oklahoma City. The second shot, routed it out and it's grabbed by Mathurin. Here come the Pacers here. Dort with 9 points. One of them on a logo ball, 6 rebounds. As Dort will have a block with a foul. And again, it's Mathurin who draws another. He is down. That's his third. The largest lead actually is 22 points. And pound for pound, both teams contesting on one another. Dort, he launches himself right onto Mathurin. And you cannot let momentum slip away. Stay disciplined, and you cannot let this get away from your grasp. What was a 22-point lead is a 16-point lead. Still, the Thunder up by double digits, but the Pacers can make this interesting. They did make Game 1 interesting because the Thunder let that one slip in the final moments. OKC 91, Indiana 75. The first shot from Mathurin. Round this one in. It's a 15-point game, and don't go anywhere as SGA is going to swap back in. The largest lead was 22. Kaysen Wallace checks out. The Thunder countering the defense with offense. Mathurin's shooting 3 of 10 from the field. Of another free throw, he can pull this to a 14-point game. His second shot, he got it. It's a 14-point game, and without Tyrese Haliburton, it's going to be harder for the Pacers to come back. But they are on a 9-1 run the last 2:05. J-Dub watched by Neesmith. SGA saying to screen, but nothing doing as Nembhard gets a switch. On the right, Dort gets it back over to J-Dub. Williams, he'll look around Shepard, yoing around for the drive. On the baseline, J-Dub turns around, fires, rattled out, grabbed by Dort off the offensive rebound. Caruso to SGA. It is put up or shut up time now here. Do or die. SGA steps back and fires. Too far. This rebound goes over to Mathurin. Now we're entering clutch time here. On the near side, Neesmith. Who's going to show up here? The Pacers are 1 for 9 for the field this quarter, but they're coming back by free throws. The irony. Nembhard. They're 7 of 8 from the free throw line here this quarter. It's Mathurin. The layup, good. Just a second 8 shot for the Pacers in this fourth quarter. And a timeout called by the Thunder with 4:45 to go. It is a 12-point game after what was a 22-point game. So maybe, just maybe, The hope is not dead for the Pacers. I'm Alec, now joined here by Ian Genge. We'll come back with you.
What's the old adage? It ain't over until the clock runs out.
That's true. And even for a 22-point lead, we know how many comebacks the Pacers have made this postseason. It's going to be harder without Tyrese Haliburton, but nonetheless, every player that they have has their clutch gene. So now, I also want to point out, Ian, that Kevin Durant is now with the Houston Rockets.
Thunder to win. Well, since you're the Rockets fan, I want to ask you, did the Rockets give up too much?
I don't feel so. We didn't give up any other players of our young core other than Jalen Green. The fact that we kept Şengün, Amen Thompson, Jabari Smith, Tari Eason, that's a win for us.
Agreed.
Right. And someone who can take the last shot. Pacers trying to steal it. SGA gets it to an open Chet. And the Thunder getting themselves open. The Pacers are an 11-1 run in the last 3:05. Most of that on free throws as SGA pulls up. Can't rail it in. Chet. There is a foul here. And free throws for the MVP. He can go up to 27 points. Remember who was the last player to put 27 points in a winning performance in the NBA Finals? Of course, the King. Marginal contact from Andrew Nembhard on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Got a hand on the shooting motion as Shai sinks the first one. 92-79. But remember, it's not over until it's over. With the MVP trying to expand this to a 14-point lead, Rick Carlisle saying, what the heck? Second shot's good. Trying to argue that it was marginal contact, and not a lot. 27 points, 12 assists, just one turnover. He's been very efficient here. Another block from Chet, his fifth. What a monster game he's had on the defensive end. And the Thunder will go up the other way as the out-of-bounds pass was of a Pacer. Indiana trying to defend the inbound. Sent over to Chet. He was going to look. Neesmith defending. On the way back, J-Dub. Activating down the far side. The layup. Rejected. And scooped up by Siakam. 2-on-1 rush. Here's Mathurin. He's fouled. 4:11 to play.
Oh, and this is interesting, Alec. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has 5 personal fouls. He needs to be smart in these last few minutes, because if he fouls out, the Thunder are in real danger of losing.
That's the interesting part. Because the foul is against him, OKC is going to be forced to sub him out. And here's a challenge here. You remember Mark Daigneault used up his first challenge on Aaron Neesmith, dribbling it to himself, and it went out of bounds. He was successful. This is the second challenge. So if this is successful, he will retain the challenge. And with 4:11 remaining, if this challenge is successful, OKC will have the ball. I think there was the gather step. Did SGA sort of get away with it? We're going to see. There's not much. But what about the travel? Well, Daigneault's trying to argue that Mathurin traveled on the way. So there's a gather. And there's the third step. So the review here is whether or not to call it a foul or not, or whether it should be a travel. So here's the call. It'll be an unsuccessful challenge. Both teams have one timeout left each. So Mathurin will shoot 2. And this is interesting because, as you noted, Ian, since SGA has just committed his 5th foul after that unsuccessful challenge. If he gets another one, he's done. So Mathurin nodding his head right afterwards, saying, "All right, don't let us get one." Mathurin's 4 of 11 here. He scored the last few Pacer points. And with a pair of free throws, he can put this to within 12 again. OKC, seeing a 22-point lead go down to 13 now as he makes the first one. Now, if you're the Thunder, do you sub out SGA and go on the defensive, or do you leave him out there on the court? This is interesting here because 27 points, 12 assists. But those 5 fouls loom large now. Second shot for Mathurin's good. And now it's a 12-point game. Pacers looking to complete another miracle comeback. This time without Haliburton. Caruso, you have to get it off quickly. And a foul is away from the play. Well, the Thunder called their timeout to avoid the 5-second violation. There's nobody to be found in the inbound, so that's why the timeout was called. But you do not want to let this get away, Ian.
No.
If nobody was open. What was it, Ian?
I was saying, if I'm Mark Dadno, I don't know who all you'd say the defensive lineup would be for OKC, but you get them out there and you get them out there now. Heck, I would even put in the guys that have barely played and have very few fouls and just tell them, make things difficult for the Pacers.
So as in putting in some of the reserves, like if you're going to go for some of them, you think of guys like Isaiah Joe or Jay Will, the other Jalen Williams.
Yeah, guys that will get up in their grill. Yes, they will get free throws, but as long as people just hit twos, make layups, just waste the clock.
Don't be too cute with the ball. It's all about ball security now for the Thunder. Caruso trying to look. He finally gets a lane here. SGA's going to slow it down. And shooting wise, the Thunder are 3 of 12 in this quarter. The Pacers 2 of 11. It's been mostly free throws here. But the Thunder are 4 of 6. The Pacers 9 of 10. OKC trying to put the kill shot here. 3:55 remaining as SGA sets back and fires from free. That's in and out. Another miss. This fourth quarter has been a bricklaying contest. This is a lot of pass for McConnell. Oh, he had a similar hot hand here and late in his fourth quarter. Remember, he scored the last 12 Pacer points in the third. As McConnell's going to look, he has to get it off quickly. It's a loose ball. Mathurin falls on it. And what do we have here? 3:33 to go. Aaron Nesmith fell onto the ball. And Aaron Nesmith was battled injury all postseason long. He seems to have re-aggravated that injury. McConnell was put on a headlock by SGA and Dort. And oh my goodness. This car crash caused Mathurin to fall and have SGA fall onto the Mathurin. They were both battling for the loose ball. And I don't know where the injury to Nesmith came from. But now, SGA is going to stay out there for the moment. It's a jump ball. It's going to be set up by Chet. And Mathurin is grabbed by Shai. They'll have to move it up coast to coast, left to right. SGA down the near side. Nesmith's on him. SGA being forced back to the logo. Shai hounding and pounding out of the Pacers. Shai holding on to it some more. SGA. McConnell holding on to it. He's in a straitjacket. Half spin. Puts one up. Bounced out. The rebound goes to McConnell. Dort pokes it away. Excellent defensive recovery by Luke Dort. And for the far side will be Wallace to him. Or rather J-Dub. Less than 3 minutes to go. Williams drives up for Dort, who can't shoot the free. Now over to Caruso. He'll wait. Back over to J-Dub. Wide open free. Bounced in and out. Check the offensive rebound and the foul. What a night here for Chet Holmgren, Ian. He has 5 blocks, and he's been all over the paint on both ends. And what a reach by Dort to poke it away from McConnell right at the last moment. Chance to make it a 14-point game and put a blow onto the Pacers' comeback efforts. First shot's in and out. So now they can make it a 13-point game, so long as he doesn't miss a second one. But free throws, 14 of 22 are the Thunder, 19 of 25 are the Pacers. Throughout the postseason, Chet is an 80% free throw shooter, but he needs to make the second one. He sets the record for the most blocks in a finals Game 7, passing Marvin Webster. That's a new record. Second shot, it bounced in. It's 94-81. And Neesmith's playing on 5 fouls. As we speak of players playing on 5 fouls, Nembhard is going to look at the right side for the right hash. Kicks it out left corner. Siakam spins around. Siakam will kick it out over to Nembhard, who sells for free. Big shot! 10-point game with 2:30 to go. Indiana's right there. Chet's loose. He slams it down. Back to a 12-point game. 96-84. Back and forth we go. On the right wing. Caruso, layup, good. Right back at you, says Mathurin. Clock is being bleeding out here. 2:08 to go as Caruso's going to look. And getting it over to Williams. J-Dub. Pacers trying to intentionally foul as SGA. With 2 minutes to go. Holding on to it. There's not been a 100-point game in NBA Finals Game 7 since 1988. Shai. Oh, that's Neesmith. He's out. He's out. That's his 6th foul. Neesmith has just been tossed, and he kicks a chair in frustration.
Hey, Alex. I know we don't count the chickens too early, but I mean, 1 minute 51, and it's currently a 10-point lead with no sign the Pacers can stop the Thunder from scoring.
And they just lost Neesmith, who's been stifling defensively all throughout for the Pacers. SGA, a prolific free throw shooter, this is not the guy you want to put the line. He sinks both, and the Thunder are on the cusp of the first ever 100-point game in NBA Finals Game 7 since the Lakers beat the Pistons in 1988. 100 seconds left, and Caruso, he's arguing because he just picked up the foul. He's arguing with James Capers. And for all discussions about SGA and free throws, once you cannot launch yourself onto him. I don't mind defensive pressure from Neesmith, but you cannot launch yourself on SGA. Nembhard misses the first shot. And it goes for everyone. So Nembhard have a chance to cut this to 11, but do remember, this team is a penchant for comebacks. It's going to be harder without Haliburton, as he dribbles twice and fires the second one. Sinks it. Back to 11-point game, 98-87. 15 points for him with 5 rebounds and 6 assists. J-Dub. When did the Pacers start intentionally fouling? Nembhard tried to do so. J-Dub got it away over to SGA. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander getting this to Williams. J-Dub bowling by Mathurin, and Mathurin intentionally fouls. Williams hits a practice layup. And the fans can taste the finish line here. It's getting closer. 96 seconds or 86 seconds remain here. The finish line is in sight. A masterpiece by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. First shot for J-Dub is good. 99-87. All the dap-ups, all the smiles. They're getting closer. Sam Presti, the GM. The genius behind this artistry. The genius behind one of the most lopsided trades in recent NBA history.
He is the anti-Sam Hinkie.
And he's just effectively one-upped the process. We can officially say that. The second shot, good. And the Thunder have done it. They're the first team since the Lakers in 1988 to score 100 points in an NBA Finals Game 7. Nembhard will look. No timeouts called here as Nembhard stripped away by Lucius Dort. And it'll all come back. J-Dub, blitzed. Dort will fake. That's the 22nd turnover against the Pacers. And the Pacers crowding all over, and J-Dub gets blitzed by Siakam. Fans cheering here with 64 seconds. And the celebrations are getting started. Everyone who has waited for this moment ever since they got the franchise off the relocation from Seattle. They've waited time and time again for this moment. Fans on their feet. Williams, the first shot, good! It was a close game back then. It looked to be a close game at some points in this fourth quarter. But now, the Thunder are just putting the icing on the cake. 1 for 2 as he missed the second one. But 1 minute to go. 1 minute until the Thunder can taste it. 3-pointers missed. Pacers keep it alive. Obi Toppin. That will not go. But there was an out of bounds step by Benedict Mathurin. 55.4 seconds. Oklahoma City is on their feet. SGA. J-Dub. 48 seconds. This team with a young core. What could be a potential dynasty of the future. And fans chanting OKC. And they can celebrate for one final time just before the tape goes out. Dort missed airball this one, but it doesn't have much of an impact with 32.4 seconds. And Alex Caruso hyping up this crowd as he's about to be a two-time NBA champion in 32.4 seconds. What a night for the Thunder. The job, which started with Mark Daigneault being hired as head coach in place of Billy Donovan, and it ends here with a championship as Chet shooting 2 here. First shot's good. And the reserves will all check in for the victory lap. This isn't mop-up duty. This is the victory lap. The deep reserves or have rode the deep parts of the bench have been behind the back supporting this Thunder team all throughout. They're all gained their moment of glory here. One more shining moment. The second shot. Exclamation point. 30 more seconds. A gold rush as Mathurin hits the layup with 25.6. And OKC, they can run this one out. It's poked away. Shepard gets it to Mathurin, who is fouled. So the celebrations will have to wait some more. 103-89. But this has been a perfect game all throughout. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander might as well has just clinched Finals MVP, regular season MVP, and regular season scoring title to become the 4th player to do so. As Mathurin, he nails the first one. He will be just a Was that the celebrations in the background?
Yeah, sorry. I'm currently in office, but there's an entire crowd out in the lobby, and they are going nuts. Here, I'll go on mute.
I would imagine they're all Thunder fans. As Mathurin nails the second one. Here it goes. 19.5 seconds until the party started. The rebuild left everyone shaky on their knees. But at their peak, they all rose. And fans saying, "Could I come again, please?" Everyone was so too kind. And the Thunder have left everyone thunderstruck. You can call them NBA champions for the first time in 46 years.
The legacy of failure broken.
The vindication is ever so sweet. The taste of glory after years upon years of being on the shadows, years wasted away. Finally, they have put the demons of past shortcomings behind them and avenged fallen heroes of years past. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Serge Ibaka, Gary Payton, Sean Kemp, among those legends in SuperSonics / Thunder history. And after that, Nick Collison. It's capped off with a perfect season. 84 wins in total combined between regular season and postseason. The best team all year. And they put the exclamation mark on what has been an outstanding rebuild. And this young core has a lot to look forward to. It's their first title in Oklahoma City ever since they relocated from Seattle. Their first overall in their franchise history between OKC and Seattle in 46 years. And the celebrations of being rewarded of jumpstarting this rebuild from top to bottom are ever so sweet. How about this, Ian? Kudos to your Thunder.
Oh, yeah. You know, it was the 2016 finals that was my first real exposure to basketball, watching the Cavaliers come back from 3-1. But it was Russell Westbrook balling out for the Thunder that made me watch it, that made me watch every night he was on. And I stuck with the Thunder no matter what. Even when I thought that they were going to go back to the basement for a while. And then, then Chris Paul becomes an MVP caliber player. But regardless, they had a couple of years where things needed to gel. Billy Donovan had to go. Not a bad coach, but, and I hate to do this to you, Alec, he was kind of like a Rod Brindamore in a way. He just wasn't going to be able to push it through. And then Mark Daigneault comes in. Shai turns into his MVP form. Chet Holmgren arrived. Jalen Williams arrives. They pull off a trade for Alex Caruso with the young buck Josh Giddey in a move that I think had everybody a little confused. Sure, Alex Caruso was much better defensively. He was also older than Josh Giddey. So it was strange to say the least. However, it panned out because now he, Shai, Chet, Jalen, Isaiah Joe, and everyone else on that Thunder team are now champions. And if I may be so bold, Alec, I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon.
It's up from here for OKC. This young core of SGA, J-Dub, and Chet, they're here to stay. Don't expect them to go anywhere anytime soon. This shows the successful rebuild. An old tweet that I read from the kid Gowie. The way everyone feels about Victor Wembanyama is how I feel about Chet Holmgren. Well, he remained high on Chet ever since, and it's paid off. 5 blocks, and Ian, we could give serious smoke on Chet being a serious Defensive Player of the Year candidate next year. We saw SGA win his MVP this year. Could we see Chet win a DPOY next year?
I don't don't see why not, especially after tonight. As long as he can, he finally stayed healthy for a full season. We saw what he was capable of. I will say, my only critique, and it's a small one, he still looks a bit lanky. If he gets serious and puts on muscle, if he's able to, then yeah, his chances go up higher. But regardless, he's an NBA champion and he set a record in the finals.
Most blocks in a Game 7 of an NBA Finals with 5. That cannot be overlooked. And for that, I'll give credit for both teams. I did say for the both of them, that I hope both teams have fun. And this Finals was a lot of fun to cover. I did miss Game 4, but this Finals was one to remember.
Absolutely. And you know what, Alec? Look, Shai is Shai. That's no question. But given the amount of defensive pressure that Chet Holmgren was doing throughout the finals, if by some weird cosmic outcome he was the MVP of this series, it wouldn't upset me. But we know it's going to be Shai. But it can't be stated enough that Chet Holmgren, oh boy. Let's see. Are you familiar with the show Supernatural?
No, I haven't heard of that.
No, it's an older show that started in 2005. It's about two brothers that hunt down supernatural beings. Early on, they hunted things like the Wendigo and other local legends, but it was two brothers. But these guys are not brothers, but Shai and Chet are Sam and Dean from that show. It is not Batman and Robin. It is 1 and 2, or 1A, 1B.
Yeah, they are, of course, an inseparable duo, bonded by a brotherhood together. But while they're not brothers, they're close as one.
Whew. Yep, and Alec, and with that, the Stanley Cup Finals have come to an end. The NBA Finals have come to an end. The Gold Cup is going on, and baseball season is well underway. We have to wait until August before we even sniff football. My friend, it is a joy to do these with you, John, Cooper, and whoever the heck else joins us in these spaces rooms. It may be a small crew, but my friend, I would say that you all and me tagging along are the only collection of high-end talent that is needed.
The high-end talent, of course,
comes to save the day.
Hey, with memorable call after memorable call. Of course, I want to get the AC/DC lyrics out there as a perfect cap-off to this NBA Finals. And we know that with Sam Presti, Mark Daigneault leading the way, this is an unbelievable run to the championship for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and it's cementing themselves that they have just quashed every bad narrative that has surrounded them. You can toss out what a pro wants, what a pro needs. Hello, Thunderstruck by AC/DC. And Clay Bennett, the team owner, is so passionate about his team and bring it to Oklahoma City. His dream has come true. At long last, this team has tasted a success. And we all know who's going to win Finals MVP. But everyone's touching the Larry O'Brien trophy. It's a collective team success off the backs of defense. And that defense transforming into offense.
You know, if Thunderstruck wasn't such an obvious choice, I would also go with Fury of the Storm by Dragon Force. If you're not familiar with that song, Alec, I urge you to listen to it because it fits the Thunder so well.
Oh, and there's another song that I thought of. If you remember watching the Thor movies, how frequently associated he is with the Immigrant song by Led Zeppelin, you could call that the unofficial or official theme, depending on how you feel about it, the unofficial theme of Thor in that regard.
Thor.
Yep.
I mean, I think the broadcast crew picked a pretty good song. I think it was at the end of the third quarter. Ain't no love in Oklahoma, except for I'm pretty sure tonight there's going to be plenty. So.
And that was great. And
that Luke Combs song's about to get a lot of airtime.
And I love when young teams, they all step up and be this successful early into their tenures to establish themselves as contenders. But Ain't No Love in Oklahoma, that's a good choice.
Easily.
Oh, and SGA getting the celebratory pats from his teammates. Oh, the party's just getting started. We wonder.
Them gold shoes are special. I don't know where the hell he got those, but those are slick.
And Mark Daigneault is just the seventh coach in NBA history of multiple Game 7 wins without a loss. You have a championship. So now, we wonder when and the parade is going to be. We just saw that the Florida Panthers had their Stanley Cup parade earlier today. And Sam Reinhart's having the most fun. He got to ride on the shoulders of Brad Marchand. And they got to work at Raising Cane's and Dairy Queen respectively.
That's great.
Oh, of course. Marchand and his penchant for ice cream. But it just had to be Dairy Queen, doesn't it?
Yep. But you know what, Phyllis? Let's not forget where this arc of the story, or where this arc began for the Oklahoma City Thunder. When Kawhi Leonard called for Paul George to be his running mate.
Yep.
Sam Presti, albeit reluctant at first, because he did not want to get rid of Paul George. He traded him after a bit of a Cold War, and it brought booms. At the time, everyone was focused on those 5 first-round picks that he acquired. But little did we all know just how important the young second-year or maybe third-year Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was going to become for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Oh, and they still have some of the Clippers picks.
Even better. Meanwhile, the Clippers have just one conference finals appearance in comparison and a blown 3-1 series lead. And we knew who was going to win finals MVP. We don't need to sugarcoat it. 30.3 points per game for the finals on 44% shooting, 5.6 assists per game, 1.9 steals per game. It is none other than a Toronto boy, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
So, I got to throw this in real quick. I don't think he's eclipsed Kevin Durant yet, even though the OKC fans are going to say, look, he finally won us one. I will say this, though. Winning the title tonight as the alpha and omega of the conversation regarding anything OKC. I think after the season he just had and what he has done the last 3 years, SGA has to be this is going to ruffle some feathers. He's got to be a top, comfortably 75 player all time now, arguably top 50. And if he continues at this pace and at least has his team contending for, if not winning another title, the next 5 to 10 years, you're talking a top 20 player all time. I don't know where I would drop him, but you're talking a guy that's a 30-point per game walking bucket. You're talking about a guy that's a willing defender. Yes, he gets cooked occasionally, but he's a willing defender. He showed tonight when he facilitates, guys can feed off it. He will rebound. He is the nucleus, the engine of that car. Without him, you do not go far. So, look, he's deserved of every award that he won this year. I'm happy for him. On that token, he keeps this up, we're going to start having some very uncomfortable conversations that might upset some people, but they're going to be warranted. He is on a fast track.
Well, absolutely. And actually, Alex, tell me if you agree with this. If you're a player that does all this, wins MVP, and wins a Finals MVP, bringing the first ever title to a city, I would say, and everyone's going to disagree with me, probably outside this room, but I would say that gives you extra credibility because you've done something that hasn't been done in the city.
You know what? I may be one of the first to agree with you. And also, it's going to start the debate of who's the better all-time player among Canadians between him and Steve Nash. But if SGA keeps this up, I can see him passing Steve Nash on the all-time list.
So, here's the scary thing. As good as Steve Nash was, I believe all three of us in this room have watched Steve Nash in his prime. As good as Steve Nash was, he had very select windows in which he was going to be able to do anything, right? Best years were easily with the Phoenix Suns. He had some good years with the Mavs, and then after that, it was kind of forgettable. So Steve Nash had to be kind of a prisoner of the opportunity, if you will. You look at SGA. Now, as SGA is getting paid, but OKC is in a wonderful spot to supplement him. Bodies are going to leave that room. Guys are going to go get paid, cap casualties, whatever you want to call it. But as long as they keep the right people, and they have, I've already shared it in God knows how many groups, they have 1 million first-round draft picks the next number of years. Either assets you can trade for other star players with, or if you keep hitting home runs in your draft selections, that you are giving weaponry to a guy like SGA. So it's very subjective of who's going to be a better Canadian-born player. But Nash was very few people remember Dallas Nash. They remember Phoenix Suns Nash, and he was phenomenal. 2-time MVP, the whole 9 yards. Never won a title. SGA's already got a title, has an MVP, and he's going to keep being in the running for this. He's not going away, folks.
Oh, no. And also, my new friend, here's another scary thought that my dad and I were discussing. Mostly we were talking about if the Thunder were to have lost. But now that the Thunder have won, he and I were discussing this. We got Chet Holmgren, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Milwaukee is a dumpster fire. You got buku bucks of draft capital. Shoot, just go get Giannis at this point. Make the Twin Towers.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's a scary thought, Ian.
It's a scary thought, but it's doable, right?
I mean,
so here's, okay. The news broke earlier today of Kevin Durant going to Houston, and I think that'll be a decent match. I don't know if it'll be a match made in heaven, but I think it'll be a decent. But I had said in other spaces all playoffs that if at any point OKC had gotten bounced, especially being a 1 seed, especially having the season they had, that a reunion could be in sorts, or they could be in the Giannis sweepstakes, or because as much as any team in the league, not named Utah or Houston, OKC has that. In fact, I think OKC has the most. They have the most freaking draft picks the next number of years. They've got Swiss banks worth. They have the ammunition to go get anybody if they're comfortable doing so. And no team would be dumb enough to reject an OKC trade. If they had gotten bounced, now they had won the title, I don't think they're under the obligation to go get any of these guys. But they had the option. It was very well in play.
You're right, but it's not an obligation. But if you remember, and forgive me, fellas, because my brain's escaping, or my memory's escaping me. But there was a team in history. They won a title. I don't know if it was the year after, or I don't know if it was that off season or the off season after that. But they went and got. No, I remember. Now it's a different era, but Alec, if you remember, the Detroit Red Wings won a title in 2001, I believe, and then went on to assemble an Avengers-like roster. Now, it was a salary capless era, but they went out and got Hasek and Hall and others. I truly believe that the Thunder, while being in the constraints of a salary cap, they will be able to go out and do something of that nature because of how much capital they have. They're going to be able to go out and get a second bona fide superstar. And the thing about Giannis is, I don't think he will rub Shai the wrong way, because I think Giannis can learn how to play off ball and this probably means the same thing, and without the ball in his hands. I think that's the same thing, but regardless, I think they can do that.
They could.
Yeah, I got to get going. I got to run an errand for the wife, but on this token, I had said this too. When the playoffs had started, even though a lot of people felt comfortable having OKC as finals favorites, or at least favorites to make it out of the West, there was still probably equal opposition. They're still young. They're still this. They're still that. We won't trust them until they do it. Now those people are going to be like, oh, yeah, they're that good. But I was of the mindset of this, if not now, when? Because everyone talks about young teams, and it's, oh, they're really, really good, but they're still young. They're not there yet. Like, they have to, get their calluses. They have to get their scars. They have to go through some tough losses. The NBA is a baby step league. You very seldomly see a team, they said it on the broadcast. 3 years ago, folks, the Thunder had 24 wins to their name. And then last year, phenomenal season, make the playoffs, they get bounced. And then, so they were the kid that essentially cheated on the stairs. They didn't do one step at a time. If you're a kid, you try to do 2 steps, you try to long step it. That's what the Thunder did, is they long stepped it. But point being is this. You cannot take for granted windows in the league. Everyone always talks about, oh, this is a young team, they're going to be around for a while. And maybe OKC will. Maybe they never get another title. We don't know. We don't have crystal balls. So when you're in the position and the opportunity that OKC was in, you have to maximize it, because nothing is given. So, as sad as Haliburton's injury was tonight, that could happen to the Thunder easily next year. A player could get hurt. Your season's wrecked, right? We've seen title windows. We talked about this with the Heatles. We've talked about it with the Warriors. We've talked about it with a lot of teams that we thought had this ridiculously long runway. The Boston Celtics, I don't think they're dead. I don't think they're going anywhere, but they're going to be on a little bit of a cold spurt here as long as Tatum is down with his injury. You talk about windows, and everyone tries to make them seem bigger than they should be, when the reality is they're micro. They're tight, especially in today's NBA. This is the 7th different NBA champion in the last 7 years, right? That's not for saying that certain teams haven't stuck around. Denver is still Denver, right? Boston's still Boston. If you have certain players, you're going to be in that conversation. You may not win the title, but you're going to be in that conversation. But point being is everyone's going to talk about OKC having this window. And, if they had lost this finals, they were going to be back. We have no certainty. None. You cannot say that. So kudos for OKC winning the title. I'm happy for them as hell because to me it was if not now, win. And you can't bank on win. You got to do it now. So, gentlemen, you guys have a good night. I will catch you guys later.
See you later.
Absolutely. And hey, if you ever want to come back in and chat with us, go ahead. You are more than welcome.
Appreciate it.
You are very welcome to come back here anytime, man. Yeah. All right. Have a good night. Ooh. As is mentioned, of course, championship windows are shorter than many may imagine in the NBA. And you have to make the most of it because the second apron at one point can catch up. So the Thunder, they capitalize on it now, and it's outstanding work at the future draft picks they have. Don't expect it to go away anytime soon. But here, the job is finished, and they got what they were looking for.
Now, to the other side of this, what do you think about the Pacers? I mean, do they have what they need to get to go back?
This is a more uncertain point because I don't know what cap casualties are going to arise for the Pacers, but I want to give them kudos. They fought tooth and nail all the way here. They were counted out most times, but now with their winning run from the January 1st all the way to here, they made this. They disproved narratives. They kept proving people wrong. They showed that they have what it takes to get here. I think they can come back with this with the same core that they have, though you want to keep this same defensive intensity. But they're going to be head coach needy teams. They're going to be knocking on the doorstep for any of Rick Carlisle's assistants. I only have one message to say to that. No, keep the band together. Because I'm not sure if Carlisle's assistants would be up to the challenge, even for the talk of, I know the 10 years of Jim Boylan and Lloyd Pierce have not worked out anyway. But that's why I say, keep the band together. From the head coaches to the players. I don't know who's going to go, but the big conversation is Miles Turner this and Miles Turner that. I imagine Haliburton is going to come back sometime soon, but if it's a torn Achilles as we all feared, then the Pacers are going to be having a season which I'm going to imagine, what now?
Well, if Haliburton's down with an Achilles, then here's what you do. Is Miles Turner an unrestricted free agent?
We'll have to check that.
Because here's my plan. If he's there, they still got him under contract for one more year, and Haliburton is down with an injury, take this next year and just plan for the season after. Because without Haliburton, I truly don't know what what that Indianapolis team is. It's certainly, I'll tell you what it's not. It's not a finals team without Haliburton. It's not a finals team, and I don't even think it's a conference finals team. So with that being said, if you have Turner for one more year, find yourself. Actually, give OKC a call. Tell them Haliburton or not Haliburton. Tell them Turner is on the mark, is on the block, and see just how many first-round picks you can get.
Now, Turner is a UFA, so that makes this conversation a lot more interesting.
Wow, since he's a UFA, they got nothing. Okay. So, with that being said, if Haliburton is out with an Achilles, how did Siakam do this finals? They may be able to get some margin of capital for him.
Perhaps you need a center. Then for the Siakam, throughout this finals, we're going to look at the averages throughout the NBA finals. In this game, he averaged just around 19 points per game throughout the finals. He's a 20-point per game scorer throughout. And this finals, he showed that way. So, I believe he stays around with Indiana. So, that will be key.
That will be keys. But, and I don't know the Pacers' cap situation. They're going to do everything in their power to keep Miles Turner around, but they are not going to. But if Haliburton's out long term, they are not making it back to the finals. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and nip that in the bud. They're not coming back to the finals next year if Haliburton's out. And I don't know if it's worth it to get to the playoffs just to get bounced. Now, people may think I'm crazy for that, but considering you just made, guys, we just saw the Dallas Mavericks implode. Trade away their best player and get the number 1 overall pick. Not saying that would happen for the Pacers. And you should not trade Tyrese Haliburton. But just remember this. Just because you don't make it back to the playoffs, it doesn't mean that that it's dark days ahead. Some things can come out of misery. And if Haliburton's out long term, you're not making it back to the finals. You'll probably barely scrape into the not barely. You'll get into the playoffs. Maybe make it to the Eastern Conference Finals if you're lucky, but you're not making it to the finals. So I would just go ahead and emphasizing this is if Haliburton's out long term. If he's not, go ahead, stay the course, supplement the roster, and make a run for next year. But if he's not coming back, plan for the season after next. And I'm telling you, the Pacers will be back.
Well, that's what we can safely say regarding both teams, between the Thunder and the Pacers. And you put it well nicely, as you laid out everything regarding both the Thunder and the Pacers between both teams. Oh, it's been a fun ride, Ian, between the NHL and the NBA season. And admittedly, I don't know when I'm going to be back on the mic. It's going to be a long time before I'm back on the mic. I may cover baseball, but it's not going to be as common as it was last year. Because I'll be focusing more towards personal projects and all of that, admittedly, between this time and when the NFL season starts. But admittedly, but in terms of NFL, first 2 weeks I'm going to miss because I'll be away at that time. But I'm targeting week 3 of the NFL season as a possible return day, full time on the mic. But I may cover baseball, but it's not going to be that common.
Right. Well, in the meantime, I will see about setting up the time that our, sorry, I should say Mr. Hopkins can get into a space and reflect on this past and talk about what teams are going to be like. Just go ahead and preview what the next season of the NHL could look like.
All right.
I will see where we're at. I will try and see where we're at. But in the meantime, sir, stay safe, stay healthy, and well, pretty much that. I tried to think of a closing witty remark. Couldn't do it.
Either way, thanks a lot, Ian. And for the rest of the audience who tuned in to listen or watch the streams around, we thank you for following along throughout the NHL and NBA seasons. Alongside Ian Genge, I am Alec Nava, saying so long, and we wish you a good summer. Stay tuned, everyone, for more. For now, we say good night, stay safe, stay positive.